106 miles to Chicago. We got a full tank of gas, half a pack of cigarettes. It's dark, and we're wearing sunglasses. Hit it.
Moment you've been waiting for. From the big smash hit movie, our latest single, The Power of Love.
Guys, welcome in. It's Wednesday, April 17th. It is Double Impact. I'm your host, Gabe El-Taib, and I just wanted to tell you one thing. The power of love is a curious thing. Make one man weep, make another man sing. Change a hawk to a little white dove, more than a feeling. That's the power of love. And I love you. Jericho Green, how you doing, friend?
Yo, man, it don't take money and it don't take fame.
Does it
contrary
take a
to popular
to
belief,
ride this train?
You don't need a credit card to ride this train.
Oh, wow.
So I just wanted to put that out there. I want to put some truth out there.
Would the power of love keep you home at night?
Yeah, man. I can see it in your eyes. It's the power of love. What a great time. What a great year. 1985. What a great year to be alive. Mm-hmm. You've shown, I believe you've shown the, was it 85 or 87? I think it might have been the week that Predator came out, and the lineup for that opening weekend was fucking crazy. And I believe you also did it for 85 when Back to the Future came out. But I don't know, maybe I was, because I was born in 1980. I don't know, but the 80s were amazing, man. Music, movies, everything.
The longer we do this and the longer we analyze these movies from the 80s, even more than the 90s, it is like a cultural zenith for entertainment, and especially Hollywood. You know what I mean? It's the Lucas Spielberg decade. It's just Zemeckis, Ghostbusters. Like it's an unstoppable decade of feel good, fun, adventure, action, all of it. You know, it's just, and there was no, and we're not going to get negative because we're smiling and we're having fun. Yes. None of that stink of the social justice warrior and the ugly feminists and the soy boys. None of that stink was around, you know?
It was just beautiful, man. And maybe because it gave us so many classics.
Right.
Maybe that's why too, but wow, what a decade.
Yeah.
What a decade.
Just the first time you feel it might make you sad. Next time you feel it might make you mad. But you'll be glad, baby, when you found that's the power makes the world go round. Power of love. Great song. What is your
Yep.
favorite Huey Lewis and the News song? Mine is Do You Believe in Love? That's my favorite one.
I think my favorite it's a tie between Power of Love and Heart of Rock and Roll.
Okay.
Because the Heart of Rock and Roll is still beating, and the more I feel, I believe it.
Right. It's just
you know,
awesome. Awesome.
It is. It is.
Yeah.
The fashion now 80s fashion that might leave a bit to be desired.
Right.
But everything else, A+.
But it wasn't
home
ugly.
run.
It wasn't the preppy chic was cool in the 80s. Because if you look at the 60s and 70s, they were like doing sort of like the social justice warrior, be ugly on purpose. You know, cut those crisis bangs, green hair nowadays, ugly art glasses. The 60s and 70s, they were chasing ugliness on purpose too, I feel like, you know.
The 70s are my least favorite, especially for fashion. 70s were terrible.
Right.
The colors, the bell bottoms, and all that.
Man,
I think the 70s
colors,
are terrible.
Man.
But 60s, love the suits and stuff. But the 80s, man. But the 80s fashion was a lot. Your bandanas and jackets and shirts and the hair.
That. The breakdancer look.
It was just a
gloves.
lot, though. Pegging your pants. If you couldn't peg your pants in the 80s, don't talk to me.
Are you talking about rolling the bottom? Like rolling
But you roll it, but you fold it over.
Fold it, and
then you roll it. Yeah,
I could not do that shit for the life of me. I had to redo it 10 times a day.
Luckily, I had an older brother, and his peg game was off the charts. So I was always looking good
look at
headed
this.
to school.
Look at this. It's good to have that older brother. My brother's a year and a half older than me, so we're essentially twins. Just got done with the CPR class, graduating from nursing school in May. Think about what you think about. New father, only been married like a year and a half. Congratulations, friend.
That's great, man. It's all, you're hitting on all cylinders, man.
Right.
And you're, by the time your kid, you know, they're about 5 years old, that wonderful age of 5. Kids will be no cuter than between 3 and 5.
Right.
And at that point, you'll have a few years under your belt in your chosen profession. That money will be rolling in. Hopefully your wife will be able to be a stay-at-home mom, you know, unless, you know, she has her thing too. But yeah, every you're hitting on all cylinders, man. Everything's clicking, everything's lining up the way it should. New wife, new baby, new career.
One day at a time. Keep it going. Let me give you a little bit more advice. Think about what you think about. Then we'll get to this comment here from None the Miser. Cherish the time with your wife and kids. Duh, that's obvious. Everyone knows that. But when I was young and married, I pursued too much work. I did. I took every job under the sun, from DC Comics, Image Comics, Dark Horse, you name it. I did it. 3, 4, 5 books a month I'm doing artwork on. And I regret it to a degree. It got me like to where I am in my career, very high status and able to do great independent projects. But I did miss out on, I was always home. I worked at home, so I was always with my kids. But I would miss out when we would go on vacations. I would take my art supplies. I'd take my computer. I'd be working on vacation. It sucked. And I realized that that's probably a fear-based action where you're like, oh, I need the money. I need the career. Like, you know, I think you shouldn't operate on fear. So my advice to you, fight for the work-life balance. You know what I mean? You got to be a man. You got to advance your career. You got to provide. But you got to be at all the soccer and football games. You have to. I didn't miss any of my kids' stuff. I was there. I remember one day when my kids were in high school, my son was on the JV and varsity team in football when he was a freshman. He would play in both games. And my daughter, she went to a different high school than my son. And she was on the field hockey team. And one day they had games on the same Friday. So I drove to his football game, watched like the first half, drove to her field hockey game, watched the rest of it, then drove back and watched him play like the varsity game or whatever that night. So it was kind of like back and forth. So they wouldn't be able to say I missed their games. So make sure, because the moment, like I heard someone say the days are long, but the years are short. It flies by.
Yep. We've
got big baby at my house. She's already a year and a half, and she's huge. She's bigger than ever now. So it's incredible. Jericho, we just saw you last week. A week ago at this time, we were live streaming from Las Vegas, you know, heading to that party. And
Las Vegas, walking down Fremont Street.
That was fun.
It was great, man. And, you know, maybe part of the reason that you went through that, you know, having that bit of regret is so you could, you know, inform people and give advice to people who are where you were, you know, to let them know those moments are precious. And people, you know, you have your kids until they're 18. Really, you have until they're about 14. Because once they start hanging out with their friends, that becomes their influence. That becomes, you know, if boys or girls get into the picture, their hormones. So you have them shorter than 18 years. And I go to my kids' practices and their games and stuff. And my son, I go to all his practices: baseball, soccer. He's playing flag football now. I go to the boxing classes. So his football practice is about 20 minutes away from here. So we have a neighbor who their son is also on his team. So we decided to carpool.
Okay.
Sounded great in the beginning, but that means I only get to go to one of his practices a week. And let me tell you, that first week that I wasn't able to go to his practice, it sucked. You know, it sucked to not, because I'm so used to being there. Even though, it's practice, but still, you know, I want to soak up all those moments, because these 8, I only have them for about 5-6 more years till the stupid girls come in the picture. And no dad can compare to that. So soak it up.
Girls, all their cooties.
Yeah, that cootie turns to something else at a certain age, let me tell you. And want everybody know, my son he let me know he has a new girlfriend. And they did. I said, what happened to the last one? He's like, she wasn't nice to my friend, so I dumped her.
There you go.
Like, all right. But they did the classic, she sent him a note, do you like me? Check yes or no. So that's still around, people. It's still a thing.
Still going. Yeah.
Yep.
Let's see. We got a little super chat, but first I saw a funny comment. He said, let's go through these here. Kara's here. Mouse C is here. Think about what you think about. None the Miser. Mark's Music Obsession. Joe Musashi. The Ferg. Where's Tammy? We need Tammy.
Dizzle.
We need
Tammy. She's recovering from neck surgery, I believe. So.
Oh, too much head banging, huh?
Oh.
Well, I just meant like heavy metal concerts.
Yeah, okay.
But let's see. They have field hockey. Yeah, they had field hockey at Claremont High. My daughter went to Claremont High School. That is the high school.
Claremont.
With it has its fields, like the lower fields, the practice fields. It overlooks Mission Bay and SeaWorld. One of the most beautiful high schools right here in San Diego. It literally overlooks the Pacific Ocean. You could see it from the fields there in the back of Claremont High. And who directed Fast Times at Ridgemont High? Is it Cameron Crowe, right? Do you know what Cameron Crowe did in the early 80s? He went to Claremont High School for like a half a year as an adult, like a young adult, pretended to be a student, because you could just fill out papers in the old days and nobody checked. He infiltrated my daughter's high school, 40 years ago, went there for half a year, and that time he spent there is the inspiration for the classic movie Fast Times at Ridgemont High. So Ridgemont High is Claremont. That's why it's Claremont, Ridgemont. That's where that comes from. So it's a very famous high school. And in fact, just like 2-3 blocks from my daughter's high school, there's like a sports bar, pub, bistro, and it's called Fast Times. That's the name of that restaurant there. So there's a little trivia for you. Also, one of the 3 bimbos that lived with Hugh Hefner, those blondies that were living in his Playboy mansion, she went there. Jericho's got to run real quick.
No.
Okay. And then I think the Kardashian mom went to Claremont High. So it's a murderer's row of winners.
Yeah. Hey, speaking of high schools that have a great view, it's so funny that the kids that go to high schools like that don't even realize how beautiful it is.
Right.
There was a high school where we used to live called Seaside High, and it was literally by the seaside. It was a little bit of land, 4 lanes of highway traffic, some sand dunes, and then the ocean. And from the campus, you could see the ocean. I mean, just beautiful blue waters on a clear day, and they're like running around, giving wedgies and shit, not even realizing that you have a look at this view from this high school, man. This shit's crazy. Some high schools are in really, really nice spots.
Yeah, especially here in Southern California. San Diego and Orange County are paradise. Kara, our resident hockey player, who changes in the boys' hockey room, which is still befuddling to me.
I remember that.
Not to throw a pity party, I think, but her dad only came to 2 of her baseball games. They were night games, never even came to a track meet. Thank you, Gabe and Jericho, for being there. They'll always cherish it. Well, my parents were divorced when I was little, and I'm not one-upping you. I'm just relating to you. My dad lived out of state in Colorado. I lived here in San Diego. He never saw or knew I played football, really. So, heart goes out, and that's why it was important to me to not continue things like that in my family. My dad's a good guy. Divorce, I've never been divorced. I'm not going to criticize divorced people. I think it's a terrible thing, and I haven't walked an inch in those shoes, and I never want to. So
same here. My dad never. My mom came to my games and stuff. My dad never did, and they weren't split up for some reason. I never even thought about why he did it, but he didn't. but my mom always did. So yeah, I get it, man. Maybe that's subconsciously that's why I wanted to be there for my kids so much. But I'm different than my dad. My dad he came from a different time, a little more harsh, a little more rugged. But I'm much more affectionate and stuff for my kids too. But I'm getting that ass when I have to.
Right. I'm just gathering some photos here that I want to share with the group too, to show them what we were up to over there. So I got to text it to myself, and come on, text. And then Amy Heckerling directed Fast Times at Ridgemont High. Okay, but didn't Cameron Crowe write it? It's based off his experience of hanging out at that high school as a guy who was too old to be in high school, and then he was pretending to be a high school student for months. So I had the director wrong. Sorry, but it was a guy who did go to that high school and pretend to be a high school student, which nowadays they'd probably arrest someone for doing that.
Yeah, and rightfully so.
Let's see. Someone asked an offensive question, but first we have a member question. I got to get to it. Hold on. Mark's music obsession. I wonder what music he's obsessed with. You better be obsessed with Bryan Adams, Huey Lewis, and Phil Collins, because those are three of my favorites. Anyways, glad you guys had fun and got out of Vegas unscathed. And then, okay, and I wanted to relate that to this comment here. Hold on. Someone asked, how was the, a real smart ass here. How was the cocaine in Vegas?
Hey.
First of all, how dare you? I don't, but it's funny because Jericho and I are teetotalers. We don't do drugs. We don't drink. And in fact, I've lost 40 pounds since the summer, and Jericho's face looks a little slimmer. He's dieting and exercising now too. So when we were in Vegas, I was driving Jericho to the airport. I said, hey, man, look, you did it. You were here for 2-3 days. No drugs, no booze. You didn't lose the money gambling, no hookers, nothing bad. But there's a crumble cookie right before we get to the airport. He said, we stop there. I won't even watch. You eat it. I'll pretend I didn't see it. Because he was eating healthy while we were there. I'm very proud of Jericho for taking care of his health. So, but I did offer him a cookie at Crumble, and he turned it down.
I did.
Man of his word. He turned it down.
And that's hard to do because Crumble makes a damn good cookie.
Yeah.
But yeah, I did. And we went to this great Italian restaurant too. And I just got
the bootleg
bomb-ass Italian Cobb salad. That shit was delish.
That
Everything looked good there.
It was a recommendation from our buddy Dino himself, Mr. CAIN. He recommended a great Italian spot. We had a great time. We went to the Friday Night Tights Vegas meetup. A lot of our good buddies that we hang out with on YouTube and talk about the same sort of things. That was a really fun 2 nights going to those parties. And let me show this here. Here's a little shot of us. Then on Friday morning, Dean treated us all to breakfast. That was fun.
Yeah.
Went to like a bougie, like cafe bistro kind of thing. It was a Richie Rich kind of place. It was nice. It was very generous of him. He bought us breakfast. So that was a good time. And so it was good to get out of the house, take a short vacation, see the buddies, see the internet pals, and just have a gay old time in Vegas before the weather gets hot over there.
Yeah, so, but the old kind of gay, not the new gay.
Right. No, yeah. Yeah, the old not the newfangled kind.
Like the not like in the Flintstones theme song. That kind of gay old time.
We'll have a gay old time.
Yeah.
Hey, Fred. I can't do Fred's voice though.
Barney. Oh, no, that was. I remember the Flintstone Pebbles commercials back in the day on Saturday mornings.
Right.
That was a shit, man.
I'm the master rapper, and I'm here to say.
Oh yeah, they have the gold chain
in a major way.
They have fucking gold chain.
Yeah, he's like got the Run DMC like black hat and glasses.
Yeah.
And chain.
Yeah. Barney was a shit. That wasn't one of my favorite cartoons, but I did like it better than the stupid Scooby-Doo. But like a lot of cartoons, and I asked you about this a while back, the animation changed.
Right.
So I like the older stuff from the 50s, 40s and 50s. That's my favorite era.
Right.
The 60s and 70s got fucking weird.
But the entire culture started to decay, so it shows in the art too.
It sucked. Like watching Tom and Jerry episode from the 70s is fucking garbage. The 60s and 70s is garbage.
Right.
I don't know what everybody was coked out of their fucking minds or what, but that shit is terrible.
Yeah. Yeah, that was that cultural revolution we went through in the 60s.
You're right.
They uglified everything on purpose,
It
you
shows.
got like rust-colored shag carpet or avocado-colored shag carpet in the house. Ugh. All right.
Shit was awful.
Now, in my 320-pound fat guy days, by the way, I'm in the 260s now, by the way, down like 40 pounds. Thank you very much. But in my formerly ate too many cereals and got fat days, I hate the fruit cereals. I'm not a Fruity Pebbles guy, not a Fruit Loops guy. I'm a Captain Crunch guy and a Lucky Charms guy. Where do you come down? Do you like Fruity Pebbles? I don't like them. I don't like all the tangy fruit flavor. I don't like them.
I like Fruity Pebbles. The only thing you got to get at them quick because they sog up real quick. But the best, the greatest cold cereal of all time is Captain Crunch with Crunch Berries. And I don't want to hear anything else about it.
Right, it is.
It'll test the integrity of the roof of your mouth. That's for damn sure.
I hear everybody say that. That never has happened to me.
Well, you got a tough mouth.
Never. And the stepping on the Lego, that doesn't hurt my feet either. I don't know what people are talking about.
You haven't stepped on the right Lego because that shit will.
I guess.
Man, you catch it and it's on like at an angle on the corner. That'll change your life, man.
Now what about
Lucky Charms? Lucky Charms are dog shit.
I love Lucky Charms. And when you're little, you eat all the oat pieces first, and then you just have a bowl of those dry, crispy marshmallows.
I just saw a video where if you microwave the marshmallows in Lucky Charms for 18 seconds exactly, they like blow up to like 5 times their size. But no, you can. Lucky Charms are off the list, and it's actually offensive to people who are Irish. So
that's offensive to people who are rainbows.
Or
Lucky Charms,
or a blue heart, yellow or green clover, or whatever.
Right. Stars. They keep adding ones. They put a hot air balloon in there. I don't know what's going on with any of that.
Yeah, what a hot air balloon.
Cinnamon Toast Crunch is all right. Where do you come down on grape nuts? Because I love grape nuts.
Oh, I think grape nuts are awesome if you're over 55 and you have problems taking a shit.
Neither of those things for me, but I still love them. Here's the trick with grape nuts. Yeah, you have to put way too much milk because they drink your milk, and then it soaks and it gets a nice chewy texture. Then this is when I'm like 8 years old. I'm doing this. I haven't done this in years. Then you put like 4 scoops of sugar on it. You turn it into candy cereal.
So something has to be done. Right out of the box. Grape nuts is horseshit.
Okay, Dead Spectre. Thoughts on honey roasted bunches of oats? These are very popular. I'm not big into them. I think they're fine. I don't know if I hallucinated this, but I could have sworn I once bought a box of just the oat clusters and none of the flakes. You know how the honey bunches of oats have the flakes, but then they have the delicious, like all candy sweet, like granola chunks, and you're always hunting for those when you eat. I swear that I got a box that was just that shit in it once. I think I
maybe Adrian's so amazing that she got up in the middle of the night one night and picked out all of the flakes.
Get you a Latina. Get you a Mexican wife, guys.
That's a strong possibility.
That's right.
But honey bunches of oats, yeah, I'm down.
Yeah,
they're okay. Right. They'll make it on the Noah's Ark of cereals, but grape nuts and fucking Lucky Charms shan't.
Ninja Turtles, get ready. It's an attack, a snack attack, a crunch and snack attack. That was the opening lines of the song for the Ninja Turtles cereal commercial. It was.
I never had those. I never had like these are definitely mainstream cereals because we're talking Ghostbusters, Ninja Turtles, G.I. Joe. But I never veered off the path of the classics. I never got into those one hit wonder cereals that never stuck around. The movie
CAIN cereal?
No, like I think one time I had the Batman cereal. That shit was terrible. Like, did Batman have this cereal in his ass before he put it in the box? Come on, that shit was awful. And I never had Cookie Crisp. I always wanted to.
Cookie Crisp.
Yeah, Cookie Crisp. Never. And what a message that was on the front of the box. You had the cop when his dog going after that damn criminal.
Right. Can you imagine nowadays, like the Black Lives Matter people would be rallying against Cookie Crisp, right?
They would be kicking, they'd be stomping the cop next to the bowl of cereal on the cover.
Yeah. Well, he is, an oppressor. He's the teeth of the state,
Yeah. Or he would have his dick out or something like that. Like the cop would just turn around and pull his dick out.
Okay.
Something like that.
It's entirely possible.
it's come on. Anything could happen these days.
Let's go to hold on. Let's see. Where is it? I want to share this. Give me this. I gotta do it over here. Hold on. I'm trying to get you guys the Ninja Turtles cereal commercial. Okay. You're gonna.
I just saw an old Mentos commercial from 1996 yesterday. That was fun.
The Fresh Maker?
Mentos, the Fresh Maker. It was the one where the guy sat on a bench that had wet paint, so he had stripes on the back, and then he laid on the. So he rolled all over the bench to get stripes all over it, so it looked like he had a pinstripe suit.
Damn,
that
man.
was the shit, man.
Sorry, this is the wrong one.
Mentos, the fresh maker. And then what was another one I saw? It was Mentos. Oh, one of the best commercials ever. Real Men of Genius.
Thank you, Mr. Blah blah blah. Yeah, that shit was funny as hell. Staying fresh, staying cool. Okay, here it is.
Shit.
Here it is. Here, we found it. Everyone, so please stand.
1989.
Place your hand over your heart. Remove your hats and please stand.
Look. Bringing kids our power pack, new series. But Shredder wants it.
We must take that power. Yeah.
We must take that power.
Give it to him. Oh,
Bebop and Rocksteady.
It's Crunchy Ninja Net with Ninja Marshmallow. A power pack crunch, part of your balanced breakfast. Tastes great.
Wow, we crunch you.
Turtle power!
Did you know?
That's the shit.
Did you know that Shredder? That was Uncle Phil from The Fresh Prince. Same actor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What was the name? Avery. Something Avery.
I don't know.
R.I.P. R.I.P. He's gone, man.
Yeah.
And see, remember a balanced breakfast? It was always a bowl of cereal, 2 pieces of toast, a glass of orange juice, and a glass of milk. I was like,
what the F? Dude, you know how much food that is for an 8-year-old?
Mom, do I have to eat all that? That's part of a balanced breakfast.
Eat your toast and your orange juice.
And your glass of milk.
Oh.
Shit.
I don't drink milk.
As
an adult, I don't drink it. I think maybe I should because I lift weights and I think it would help. But I don't know. I quit drinking milk like 10 years ago. I like it. I just don't drink it though. I don't know.
Milk is for babies. No, I used to be pretty good in the milk. I drink almond milk now, or almond beverage, whatever the fuck you're supposed to call it. I drink almond milk. That's what I call it. Fuck it. I love it. It's delicious. Nice and cold. Throw some ice cubes in that bitch.
How do they get their fingers on those little almond titties though to get the milk?
It's really tiny.
How does that work?
They're really tiny hands, but it's fun to watch.
All right.
There's almond milk porn if you're into it, guys.
Nope. We're not going to talk about that. Nope.
I'm just putting it out there.
The poll of polls, the poll that I never come back to, is out.
Poll in your hole.
Because Back to the Future 3 is a little bit about romance. Dr. Emmett
a little bit.
Brown and his lady friend, they're getting to know each other. And that's always a fun time when you start dating, when you meet someone new and all the butterflies and the feelings and your brain is being taken over by acetylcholine and oxytocin and all that stuff.
You're fucking 5 times a day.
Yeah, you're right. Jackrabbits.
Let's be honest.
I knew someone the first time they went out with a boy or girl. I won't even reveal identities. The first time they went out with someone they liked, that person had a large dark green piece of lettuce in their teeth. And the other person, who may not have been me or may have been me, could have been anyone, could have been you. I don't know. They didn't know what to do or say about the lettuce for a long time. And there it was, just blotting out their beautiful straight white teeth with dark green cruciferous goodness. So I say to you in the audience, Jericho, if you were trapped in this situation with a beautiful man or woman, I don't know what you like, Jericho, could be anything.
Let me make that clear. It would be a woman.
Okay. In Jericho's case, it happens to be a woman.
Fucking A.
And they have big old piece of lettuce in their teeth. What would you do? A, say nothing. B, politely say something. C, put food in your own teeth to make them feel not dumb. Or D, pick it from their teeth and eat it to show dominance.
Now, what I would do and which one of these answers I like are 2 different things. I like the last one, pick it from their teeth and eat it. But in real life, I would tell them. I'm the kind of person who will tell you, if you got something in your teeth or you got a booger in your nose, I'm going to tell you. I'm not going to let you walk around looking like a damn fool. So yeah,
that's true.
I tell them, I was like, hey, you got some shit in your teeth, bitch.
Yeah.
That's what I
got some lettuce, you slob. Ugh.
Get that out of your fucking teeth. That's what I tell them. But yeah, I would say something. What kind of fucking psychopath are you to not say something? That's fucked up.
maybe you were young and you didn't know how to approach it at first. I don't know. This is a hypothetical scenario. You know,
You tell them, hey, bitch, get that out of your teeth. I'm not putting my dick in that. Get that out of your teeth. That's what you say.
All right. Well, right now, politely say something is winning. So we'll see where this ends up. But yes,
but we'll never know because we ain't going back to that.
Yeah, we won't go back to the poll. That's for sure. And the other thing that's in here, you can go to bigmancomics.com right now.
Better.
And get Dean Cain All-American Lawman because we have a few copies left of the first printing. The campaign, tremendous success. Everybody that has got the book and messaged me and Dean about it loves it. They said it was thrilling, amazing story, beautiful art. And I was like, yeah, I know. No, just kidding. No, it's humbled, grateful. It's just beyond belief to me how well this has been received, how much people love it. And we are eagerly anticipating doing the second volume of Dean Cain All-American Lawman. That'll be announced later in the year. Currently, Aikion, the illustrator for Dean Cain All-American Lawman, his hands are full. His hands are full with another project that I am also authoring. It's a sci-fi book with a lot of heart. There's a family, there's a husband and wife, an evil dictator, space travel, lost planets. It's an amazing, amazing story with the family element thrown in, crazy robots, laser guns, everything you love about space and science fiction. Jericho's seen concept art from it on the cover, and he'll tell you it's awesome. And I've had a beautiful day writing yesterday and today. Hard day writing yesterday, actually. It felt like running at the beach, running in 3 feet of water. Today, it was like a hot knife through butter. So many amazing ideas were coming to me and stuff like that. So it was a great day of writing today. But I'll have the script for that done soon. Aikion is already up to page 10 on it because I sent him the first 40. This one, I think, is about 100 pages, 110, just like Dean Cain All-American Lawman. So that'll be coming. Then I got another book. Hold that thought, Gabe. Brandon slaps a $5 on the table, takes a drag from a cigarette, and just walks out. So, he's just a badass. It's just how
put your money where your mouth is, as they would say in Canada.
Here you go, Brandon. Thank you. Gracias, senor, for the super chat. And so that's what we have. Dean Cain is pretty much done, but you can still get the first printing, but there's not many left. I think we have like cover A and cover B are sold out. Cover C, there's like 80 left. And let's see, cover E and F, there's I think 100 and something left of each. I think that's where we are on those. When the first printings are gone, they're gone forever. I'm not reprinting them as for the same book. When I reprint, because there will be more editions of this, it'll have a different cover or something completely denoting that it is not the first print. So that is what will be happening.
And speaking of Dean Cain All-American Lawman, Junior and I finished it last night. Great ending, great little twist to it. Classic twist.
Right.
To it. And a wonderful story. It was a breeze and a pleasure to read. We'll probably end up reading it again before too long. But yeah. Awesome.
You know what I realized like 2 days ago? That I have had these for like 6 weeks at my house, the graphic novels. I haven't read it. I read it so many times working on it on the computer. It never occurred to me to actually sit here and read the printed book. So I have not had the pleasure of reading my own.
Yeah, do that. Eat your own meal.
I need to sit there and have a bite of what I cooked for everybody.
But there is a shout out to the show, to Double Impact in there.
There is.
And a shout out to me. Awesome.
Oh my gosh. But here it is. So cover A, no mas, sold out, baby.
Damn it.
Cover B, sold out. Now I have a few in reserve because a gentleman emailed me today. He said he got the books. He got like 2 or 3. He loves them. Then he showed me a photograph of what I can only describe as abuse that the United States Postal Service did to one of the books. Like sliced down the top. Like they hired Bruce Lee to karate chop the book. Damage it and dent. I told him I'll send you another one, no problem. Another guy emailed me, and his box was open. There were no books in it. Terrible. I sent him some more. So, but yes, cover A is gone. Cover B is gone. C exists. E exists. F exists. The foil covers, they're going to come back. We didn't sell out of all 500, but while I was fulfilling, I simplified my campaign. I just have the covers and the shirts, and that's it. I took down all those multi-packs and everything because it's a lot of work to organize all that to ship it out, and lots of orders are still coming in. So I simplified that so I could expedite getting these orders out to people. That's why this page got simplified. So guys, head over there now and get it. If you haven't yet, You'll love it. It's worth every penny. I know it's a tight
doing?
economy. This is great entertainment. Jericho, you want to do a little sales on this and tell them, is this a great thing or not? I know you're my buddy, my friend, but is this a great product or not?
No, it's an amazing product. And if I didn't think so, trust me, I just wouldn't say anything.
What would you say if
anything
you
at all.
thought, if it was mediocre, how would you try and, if I had the big lettuce in my teeth and it was mediocre, how would you couch it on the air?
Well, you know, it's cool. It's good.
Is this where your voice goes up when you're getting nervous?
No. It's good. It's good. No, it's a great story. The artwork is great. Everything is what you imagine when you think of a great comic book story, and everything in there is top notch. And again, to see it from its infancy stage, just tossing around the idea, concept art, little pages, getting done here and there, and then to see the final product, man, it is awesome. And again, it's a joy to read. It's great that I can read it with my son. It's just quality entertainment. It's what you want. Think of what we do here in comic book form.
Right. If you love the 80s and 90s stuff that we do, that we love on this show, that's what this is a complete love letter to. Dean Cain loves those movies. Akion, the illustrator, he's in his early 50s. He loves those movies. So this is an absolute love letter to the fun. You see that smile on Dean's face on this cover here where he's swinging on the rope. That's what we wanted. Danger and fun. Danger plus fun is thrills. That's what thrills are. That's what a roller coaster is. It's scary and fun. It's a thrill. So the whole thing is this 110-page thrill ride. You guys, you got to get it. My next sci-fi book is an amazing, fun one, too. You got your smart alecky Han Solo stuff going on. Evil bad guys, amazing robots. Maybe I'll show, maybe if we sell a few copies of DK during the show, maybe I'll show some concept art. Maybe I'll show some concept art from the sci-fi one. Mousy says, I know for sure it's great. Let there be no doubt. Yeah, I think Mousy bought like every cover or something like that. It was kind of amazing.
It's great. And I think on that cover, he's smiling because he's holding on to that broad.
Yeah, but he's a gentleman. You see his hands on her waist. He's not touching her butt. You don't know her like that. He doesn't know her like that.
In that picture, it's later.
Brandon for $5. Thank you, Brandon.
Again.
Shake, shake, shake. Shake, shake, shake. Shake your booty. Shake your booty.
There you go. You throw $5 at the stage, you get the booty shake, Brandon.
Bam. First, you thought you were going to get that the video you saw before. No.
All right.
We got multiples in the chamber.
He said, I freaking loved every page of this book. Thank you, Brandon. It was a labor of love. And the next one, the sci-fi one, Jericho, should we talk about the third book before Dean came to? Should we talk about it at all?
I think we should. But I do want to say that Brandon sending that super chat is a testament to how great it is, even though he says he freaking loves every page, but he paid money to say that. If people didn't really believe that, they are not going to pay money to say that it's great unless it really is. So I'm telling you, if you haven't got it yet, you are wasting your fucking life.
Well, I'm going to show everybody something, and we can talk about it as much or as
Pull it out.
you want.
Pull it out.
I'm going to whip it out. Here's a page in Adobe Illustrator. This is actually a document where I was working on something, and you can see a little bit of my design process. If I could sound Canadian for a minute.
Proceed.
So here's an Adobe Illustrator document, and what does this have on it, this document? Oh, this is the logo for the third book we're doing. So I'm doing Dean Cain was one. The sci-fi book, I should just say the name sooner or later. Here's the third book that we're working on. Co-written by none other than Jericho Green and myself. Illustrated by moi, by yours truly. I'm going to draw this one. And the premise for this thing is outrageously fun. Do you want to talk about that, or should we just leave it at this for now?
No, I don't want to give away too much right now. I think we should Hansel and Gretel a few crumbs every episode, maybe. But this is a joy to talk about. Today we were throwing some ideas back and forth, and it was just flowing. It was just fun. He would be like, and I did it. It was back and forth.
Yeah.
It was fucking great, man. I'm so excited, not only because my name is attached to it, but it's just fun, man. The story is going to be fun. The characters are going to be awesome. It's something we can all relate to. We're going to see ourselves in some of those characters. One of those characters are our us, or how we were as kids and stuff. And man, This is
Right.
gonna be fun.
Yeah, this one I'm so excited about to get back in the saddle drawing. I haven't drawn anything since Truth, Justice, American Way. I finished drawing that like last June. So we're kind of coming up on almost a year since I've drawn a comic book. I've drawn pinups and other art in the interim, but I want to get back to drawing pages. And I'm going to draw it in the style of Akira. You know, Akira, the cartoon, the anime movie and the manga. I have them in my office right now. I'm just referencing these totally. The big Akira phone books. I have all of them. My green screen's killing the cover of it. But I'm going to draw in Katsushiro Otomo's style because I love that style. And for the tone of this book, the fun and the adventure, we won't talk about. We're just teasing you tonight. This is just my Adobe Illustrator document where I designed the logo. I don't like the yellow. There were more logos on here, but this middle one is the one we settled on. Ignore the skull at the top. But this one's going to be amazing. Kara, I'll let you field this question, Jericho.
Probably a dumb question here. No such thing as dumb question except one that isn't asked. Is it okay for 6 and 9-year-old nephews? Oh, perfect. My son's 8. My son's 8 years old. It's right up their alley. He would read 3 pages every night. We'd read it before bed. He would read 3 pages. I read 3 pages. They can read it. You could leave them to read it on their own. You don't have to worry about anything inappropriate in it. It's exciting, and especially nowadays with all the distractions kids have, tablets and phones and all, everything that's ever been filmed on TV and streaming and all that shit. My son was excited to read this every night. And there were some nights where he would get home too late for practice or something like that where we couldn't read it, and he was disappointed. So yeah, it's exciting whether you be a child or an adult. It is an amazing piece of artwork in every meaning of the word.
Remember the one concept art piece I showed you for the Hammerheads? Do you think that would be too much to just show them a glimpse of that?
No. Go ahead. Give him a tape. Give him the tip, but it's just the tip.
Here's just the tip of what's happening in Jericho Green, the Hammerheads. It's these are just sketches, some character designs, but takes place in the 90s. I won't say anything else.
Telling you. And the cover, the things we were talking about today, the characters and some of the story.
Oh yeah.
Man.
Yeah, we're gonna blow it out with this one. It's gonna be much fun.
Amazing.
Brandon said he's gonna be on that foil cover when it's back. Well, now that everything is shipped out, I got to look at some things and talk to Dean. But yeah, the foil covers will be available again sooner or later. I just wanted to simplify everything because I ordered these from a different printer than I order the regular books. Because the Billy Tucci, the great Billy Tucci, a legendary comic book artist. You don't know him, Jericho, but he's an awesome dude. Father, family man, but a great independent comic book creator for 30-something years. He's been successful doing indie comics. He suggested these guys to me. You were there at Comic-Con, Jericho. These guys came up to the booth, these two brothers, and they had a folder with glow-in-the-dark covers and metal covers and foil covers. They're out of Phoenix, and they did the foil covers for Dean Cain All-American Lawman, and it looks freaking amazing. So I ordered those separately than the other ones. So that's why I took it off the campaign for now and all that. So, but we'll get back to it now that I'm caught up trying to write some scripts. So what I'm doing going forward, just so you know what Big Man Comics is up to, I'm writing Earth Illuminated. I'm tired of saying the sci-fi book. I'm writing Earth Illuminated, which Philippe and my buddy Akion is illustrating. Then I am going to finish writing the Hammerheads and start drawing it. And then I'm going to write, and I'm also be writing Dean Cain 2, The Hong Kong Connection. That's the name of it, Jericho. How great is that?
Beautiful.
We're going all over Asia in the Hong Kong Connection. It's going to be amazing. So I guess while I'm on a roll here, I might as well show people, guys. It's all coming out. We're pulling. Should I show them? I'll show them the Earth Illuminated stuff. I'll show them a little bit. Let's see. Here's hold on. Here it is. Here's this. Let's pull it out. So yeah, so I'm very busy. And then I have 3 other books that I can't talk about, but they're going to blow you away when you see them. They're going to blow you away when you find out. But here, Big Man Comics, it's all about fun and entertainment. And the secret thing we're doing is we're inspiring you with positive messages. But I never want it to be preachy. Like, the left-wing SJWs, they want to be preachy. And you're a racist. You're this. You're that. We don't do that in ours. We give you a good message without bashing you over the head. We make it so much fun. You don't notice that you're being told amazing morals. So here's the cover to Earth Illuminated. I will not tell you what it's about. But you're going to love it. Robots, wingsuits, fascist leaders. There's the husband and wife right there. There's their buddy, the robot. I won't say his name, but he's a really fun character. Spaceship. So we got a great family, a family thing going on, an oppressive government, but it's much deeper than that. There's mystery, there's lore, there's multi-thousands of year history going on. But the whole thing, the signature with me, and for sure with Jericho, is always fun, always comedy, but not that Marvel cinematic universe where there's too much joking. You know, there's, if you read Dean Cain All-American Lawman, you know it was enough comedy, not too much. I like mine to be about like Indiana Jones, you know what I mean? About like Romancing the Stone. It's funny, but it's also mostly action-packed. So here's a little bit from that. So you're going to want to get this. I think Aikion will be done illustrating by July or August. And this one, I don't think, if things work out, I think by August. I think so. And I'll be drawing hammerheads the whole time too. So I'm not drawing this one. Someone else is, so I'll have time to work on the hammerheads. So there we go.
And the last or the outfit that Chris Tanaka's wearing at the end of the book.
Right.
Slick.
Right. And people saw that. I think I threw that up there.
Yeah.
That's
at the end of the book.
Right. Because we get our gear up. So we put him in the James Bond tuxedo with the red carnation. We have him on the Tom Cruise Mission Impossible motorcycle.
That's
beautiful.
Beginning.
But here we have the face paint, the bandana, the bow and arrow, where he's going on the final mission. And it's an awesome ending. And Aikion isn't just an illustrator, guys. He's a writer and a storyteller in his own right. I'll show you guys the script someday, the way I do them. I literally write a page description, like he gets to the secret base, he dodges the guards and the cameras, and he breaks in. That's like all I'll write for a page. And he creates, and he adds to the story and all this stuff. And the climax of Dean Cain All-American Lawman, the climactic page of the book, I think it's 104, he wrote that, not me. I had a different thing happening there that was good. But as I told Dean when we were collaborating, best idea wins. Because I'm a football guy. I was raised that way in the masculine culture of we're a brotherhood, we're a team. And I don't want, well, I'm the writer. We got to do exactly what I wrote. That's not how it works. When you hire people to illustrate, if they're experienced and know what they're doing, leave them the F alone. Leave them alone as long as they're following the story. You know what I mean? If they fundamentally like, no, Chris Tanaka should die on page 8, and then his brother comes in and gets revenge. like, no, that's not what I wrote.
You shut up.
But that climax, Jericho, how great was that? Because when he sent me that in email, I was like, oh my God, this is so much better.
Yeah, that's how people are successful, is you get people who do a certain thing well and let them do it.
Yeah. So I'm excited to work with Jericho. We were texting back and forth ideas this morning, and my brain's it's just going. When I get in writing mode, I freaking love it. I love it, and I love once the art is done, I start dialoguing the book, because I don't write any of what they say until after I see the finished art. We get the ink, the black and white, then I color it. Then when the whole 100 and whatever pages are done, then I start looking at my script and going, it looks like he's saying this here, because Aikion knows what I want them to be doing and arguing about, but not exactly what they're saying. And then after he draws it, I'm like, oh, they could. So all the dialogue you see in Dean Cain All-American Lawman, I wrote that after we finished the art for the book. And I think that's the best way to work. It's so much fun. Tony C, thank you. I'm so happy. Tony, all the way in the land down under. She messaged me if I knew where her book was. I was in Vegas. I said, I'll talk to you next week. But then she got her book. The kangaroo brought it. The kangaroo came jumping to her house in Australia and dropped it off. So there you go.
Look at the size of that bigger.
That's not a comic book. This is a comic book. Tony, do you like Vegemite, and why are you gross for liking it?
That shit smells like a vegetable's butthole. Golly, that stuff's disgusting. I used to work with a guy named CAIN, and he was from Australia, and he brought a jar of Vegemite in, and that shit was horrifying. But we introduced him to peanut butter and jelly. He had never, ever had that in his life, and he tried it, and he was like, what the fuck have I been eating? Because in America, that's just, that's
part of your citizenship test.
Yeah, I think that's in the Constitution that you have
now
to
hold on.
Peanut butter and jelly.
I'm about to divide the room in half. Creamy or chunky? You answer correctly.
No, if you're doing a classic PB and jelly, like if you're introducing somebody to the peanut butter and jelly game, it has to be creamy.
Oh,
you can venture off later and do.
I refuse to eat creamy peanut butter. I hate it. I hate it because I love peanut butter. Creamy peanut butter is delicious, but the whole time I eat it, I'm like, I wish this was chunky peanut butter. The whole time.
But is it Jif or
I won't
Skippy?
eat that. No, I buy the $8 Laura Scudder's like peanut salt or the 2 ingredients. I'm not buying that motor oil that's peanut butter flavored, the fakey stuff.
I
Ugh.
actually knew Laura Scudder's granddaughter.
Really?
Yeah, she grew up near where I went. I went with her to homecoming my junior year in high school.
What did she like? Chunky or smooth?
I didn't ask her her preference in peanut butter. But yeah, I knew her. She was she was a great person, but she was like a Paris Hilton kind of girl, like real bougie, and her dad would like cut up her meat for her before she ate.
Oh.
Stuff like that. She was a real cool person, but yeah, definitely a rich girl. Laura Scudder potato chips.
Oh, that's right. Right. No, I buy the expensive peanut butter at the outside. Bring the limousine around to bring me some peanut butter this morning.
Pardon me. No, I would eat. I grew up, eating like most of us, Skippy or Jif. Peter Pan. Haven't had Peter Pan in a long time.
Peter Pan peanut butter. Oof.
But yeah, we're going creamy peanut butter for that. Thank you.
Michael Coulter says, Gabe, I like my stories dark. Bring back Spawn, bring back The Punisher, bring back The Crow, and bring back Dark City. Dark City is a great movie. The Crow is just a classic. They're remaking The Crow. Let's not talk about that.
Boo.
Boo. But yeah, I don't do like dark R-rated stuff at my company. I'm not against it. Anyone can do it. But as far as gore and all that, I don't want to do that. I want to ride that line. And I'm successful so far. I'm 2 for 2 with Truth, Justice, American Way, and Dean Cain. And I know I'm going to keep hitting it because I know how to do this. To make books that a 60-year-old, a 50 or 40-year-old can read, and they are fully engaged and entertained, and a 7 or 8-year-old can read. Just like I'm 7 watching Star Wars. I love it. My 40-year-old uncle's watching it with me. He loves it. That's the kind of entertainment I want to make. I want to make comics where the dad can leave the room and doesn't worry what the kid's going to find when he flips a page. But also the parents aren't annoyed and bored reading it,
Yeah.
So I want it to be for adults, my work, but suitable for children. I want it to be family entertainment. You know what I mean? So let's see. Gabe, you ever tries it? Have some. I'll bring it. He's talking about Vegemite.
Oh, fuck no.
Well, next time you're down in San Diego, Diesel, hit me up. I gave you my number, so I can get out to El Cajon pretty quick if you're doing some work out there.
I don't even know how to describe Vegemite. It's like vegetable peanut butter. But
isn't it like
it's not sweet?
It's rotten vegetables, right? It's just like fermented veggies or something.
I don't. To be honest, I don't know. But it looks like motor oil sludge. It looks like black tar heroin. It's disgusting.
Look at this.
It smells like shit.
Toasted chunky peanut butter and jelly slaps. In England, they get confused by peanut butter and jelly.
Red.
Because to them, jelly is what we call Jell-O. Jell-O, the cherry, the grape, the whatever. So they think we're putting peanut butter with Jell-O on a sandwich.
They're stupid.
Because I think they call jelly and jam. They call both jam in England.
But there's a difference between jelly and jam. Jam is like fruit.
Not to the Brits.
Like apparently. A fruit spread, and jelly's like, jelly.
Peter Pan goes both ways.
Can you go back? Can you go back to the slaps comment? Yeah. Actually, being from Northern California, let you know this Johnny truth. If it's food, it smacks. If it's music, it slaps.
Oh.
So you got to say.
What if it was a song about toasted peanut butter and jelly? Would it slap or smack?
It slaps because it's music. Music slaps, food smacks.
What if it was the musical sound of you smacking your lips because you were uncultured? Like
it's audio.
You're doing it to the beat.
It slaps. No, it slaps. And I'm saying that because those two terms originated from E40 in Vallejo, California, which isn't too far.
Yeah, the Bay Area's got its own little dialect up there with the hella.
It does.
Hella good.
It's hella crazy.
Yeah,
I say
hella
that.
crazy.
That's the people from Southern California hate it, but
yeah. Well, we just have way better Mexican food. That's the thing. So
that's bullshit. That's a hella down.
Let's see, Gabe. Would I ever work with a history nerd like you? I love history. Most men do. There's a podcast, Dan Carlin's Hardcore History, one of the greatest podcasts in the universe. He goes over everything: Genghis Khan, the Romans, the Punic Wars, Carthage, World War II. And he does like only 3 or 4 podcasts a year. That's it. That's how many episodes he does a year. But they're like 3 or 4 or 5 hours long. He narrates them like a father telling a story with a little bit of sound effect and music and stuff. And he'll read like 20 books about Teddy Roosevelt and then just tell you his life story in like a 4-hour thing. hardcore history, amazing. I love history. I'd love to do some historical stuff. I absolutely would. Go ahead.
I saw something a few months ago on Instagram, and it was a reel, and it was from a museum in France, I believe. And it showed, back, this would probably be what, 1500s, the conquistadors and all that, and those brass chest plates that they would wear. Like they would put it around their body, and it would like snap underneath the arms or something. But it was basically this brass vest that they would put on to protect you. And it showed one that a cannonball went through.
Oh, I've seen that.
Holy shit.
I don't think that guy made it.
I don't think he did either. He had a slight limp after that.
He had a hole in his armor like that big.
Like the cannonball just like a hot knife through butter went through that brass chest plate. And the guy who was in it, whoever they took it off of, I'm sure it was just a wet spot in the ground. I mean, I
remember learning a lot about the Civil War when I was in middle school. And I learned about them using what they called grape shot out of the cannons. And if they were out of cannonballs or they wanted to do some crowd control, instead of putting a cannonball in the cannon, they would put grape shot, which was anything, money, chunks of metal, rocks. It was basically turning the cannon into a shotgun. And that was bad. That was not survivable. Oh, super chat here. Let's see. Let me find it. Captain Aruno for 5. Thank you. Very generous, my friend. Love T-Jaw, Truth, Justice, American Way. My absolute favorite scene was American Way trying to get his parents to safety, telling them if they ran, they wouldn't believe in him. Beautiful. That was page 47 of the book, and it was the climax and the point of that story. And multiple people that bought it and read it told me that scene brought them to tears or had them on the edge. And I felt so gratified as an artist, as a writer, that like, wow, that's exactly what I intended, that page would grab you by the heart, grab you by the throat, that page was the point of this book. And it worked. So God bless. Thank you so much. And here you go, friend.
Shake, shake, shake. Shake, shake, shake. Shake your booty. Shake your booty.
That's right, guys. You throw 5 on the stage and Van Damme's going to shake it.
You get to see his ass.
I
think it's time to reread T-Jaw.
Yeah.
I think it's time.
Spoiler. Should I? Well, yeah. So in T-Jaw, I'm not going to go the whole story, but there's a nuke that's going to be set off, and it's going to destroy the city. American Way, the main hero, he's like a metallic Superman. He's an actual man of steel. He goes to his parents' house. He's on the run from the law because him and his super buddies have been framed by the bad guys that they're the bad guys. So they can't show their faces in public. They're having to work behind the scenes to try and save the day. And he just doesn't think they can win American Way. So he has a selfish moment. He's going to get his parents, like in their 50s or 60-year-old parents, he's going to get them to safety, get them away from the nuclear blast that's going to take out the city. And his dad stops him right there. Tells him, no, I'm not going anywhere. I believe in you. You're like me. You share my values, our ways, our God, our country, all of it. You're going to do this. You're going to save the day. You are a hero, and I know you can do it. And in the last moment, later in the book, like 20-something pages later, when the bomb is about to go off and American Way has to think of what to do, he remembers his dad telling him that, his dad believing in him and this and that. So that was our climax. That was the point of that book, was that scene. So I'm really glad it resonated. I still have like 50 copies left of T-Jaw. You can always email. Hold on, I'll put it in the chat. Let me make sure I spelled this right.
I'll be right back, Gabe. I gotta grab it later real quick.
No problem. If you're interested in that, Gabe El Taib illustration at gmail.com. T-Jaw's not for sale on Big Man Comics website. It's not there. I have a handful of copies left. There's not many at all. It was the first print, the first and only printing. Long story short, there was a legal problem with my former partner who, how did my lawyer put it, was in material breach of contract. So we won't be moving forward with T-Jaw anymore, but we've got all kinds of other stuff. And but T-Jaw, that's all there was, and all there will ever be. It's a great idea. It was a great property, but contracts are contracts, and people have to live up to their end of it. And when they don't want to, you can't do anything about it. You can only control yourself, not the other person. So there you go. But yeah, it's a great book. I still have some left. If you're interested, you can email me there. Gabe El Taib illustration at gmail.com. So yeah. All right, and so now that Jericho's gone, we can all make fun of him while he's out here. I'm going to put another poll up, and then we're going to get to the movie finally. So, and just so you know, remember we had Matthew Marsden on. Fantastic dude, awesome guy, family man, talented actor. He's got a new movie coming out called Protocol 7. I'm going to find a link to that and share it with you guys. But I talked to Matthew about a week or two ago because we've become pretty friendly. I really like him on a personal level. He's a great guy. And I told him to come back on when we review Rambo 4, which he was the British sniper schoolboy in Rambo 4.
That's right.
So and he said he'd love to come back on and tell us about it. I heard him in a different interview talking about acting in that movie. And, I don't know Stallone. He does from acting in it. But he said there was a line in the movie that he thought was a little corny. So when he did his first take of it, he like really hammed it up, And he said, it was like, cut. I need some water to do this. Hold on. I wish I could find this interview quick, but he said, Stallone said, any more ham and we're going to have a sandwich. That's how. So I guess, it's a lot of ball busting and stuff like that. So yeah, Matthew Marsden, we'll get him to come back on. So we've reviewed Rambo 1 and 2 on this channel. So I guess I'll ask Matthew when he can come on, and we'll do 3 the week before, and then we'll do 4 when he comes in here and talk to him all about it. So that'll be fun. So always trying to line up more guests for you guys and all that. And, the things are evolving. Things are going well. Anything else you want to get to before we get to the movie?
I also talked to Matt. I'm going to have an interview him on my channel, Green's House. So I'm excited about that.
Very cool.
Well,
did you already interview him or are you going to?
I'm going to. We're corresponding at the moment.
All right, cool. Yeah, he's an awesome guy. Like, we hit it off so well. When he came on the show about a month ago, he told me right before he's all, I can only do a little bit of time because he's got 8 or 9 kids and he's in Texas, so it's much later than here. And then we talked for 3.5 hours.
Sure did.
So yeah. All right. The poll of polls is back, guys. Because I have to get to the bottom of this. I have to know if I really know my audience here. Please don't vote for Creamy. That hurts me personally.
No, vote with your heart.
That offends me. That
don't
you like creamy
don't
peanut
let
butter.
Gabe sway you.
If you tell me that you eat creamy Jif peanut butter on white Wonder Bread with Welch's jelly, I don't even know what I'm going to say.
Vote with your mouth.
Please.
No, what are you talking about? That's the classic peanut butter and jelly sandwich. Or you can swap out grape for strawberry if you want.
Here's
jelly?
what you
Come
do.
on.
You get a nice, expensive loaf of whole wheat bread.
No.
Good,
What?
expensive Laura whole wheat bread. Don't be eating white bread. It's so
What
gross.
the fuck?
It's disgusting.
You're
toast
about to
it.
put sugar spread in between it. Health is not.
You toast it till it's
No.
crusty, nice and crusty. Then you butter the bread. Lots of salty butter on there. Then you put your chunky peanut butter, nice crunchy chunks. Then you get your
Oh,
French
shit.
imported Bon Maman mixed berry, strawberry preserves, and you spread that on with the hottest cup of coffee you can find. Crunch, bite, drink, crunch, drink, crunch, drink. Oh, you want to talk about good. In high school, my brother would make these other ones. He would get a frying pan, like a stick of butter in there, and make like 2 or 3 peanut butter and jelly sandwiches fried like a grilled cheese, just deep fried in butter. Insane.
Gabe,
Delicious.
you have the mouth of a 65-year-old aristocrat.
Oh, yes,
with
indeed,
your-
I do, so.
Your great nuts and your fucking toasted wheat bread and
Well,
your
I'm a little
French,
surprised. 'Cause
whatever
I
the fuck.
I would rebut to you, but it's true for you too.
No
My
rebuts.
dad was a gourmet chef, but so was yours.
True, but a PB&J is a PB&J.
We
White
only-
bread,
No,
creamy
man.
peanut butter, and jelly.
But I got it on both sides. My mom's family owned a restaurant for 40 years. My dad's a gourmet chef. I only ate good growing up. Maybe am I a food snob? Oh my God.
And it's okay if you are, but occasionally you got to come down off of your culinary high horse.
No,
and
I
eat
don't.
with
I don't
the
like
peasants.
Twinkies. I don't like garbage like that. I never had a Lunchable till I was like 30 years old. I never had Velveeta till I was in college. My friend wanted to go get it at the store. Like Velveeta.
Yeah, I
shells
didn't
and
grow up
cheese.
eating that shit either.
That's disgusting.
But a PB&J, that's the people's food. That's
Yeah, but it's got to be whole wheat, toasted, real jelly, real chunky peanut butter. The kind of peanut butter you
Like-
could stir up. You got to
like
stir it.
you want the bread that has like the fucking nuts and twigs
Yeah,
in it
the
and
good
shit.
stuff. The good stuff.
Do you have a problem shitting or something? Why
No, I just
the
love the
fiber?
Speaking of the stirring the peanut butter, this is a joke between me and my wife. One day, I was at the local Vaughn's, and I had the Laura Scudder's peanut butter, the kind you have to stir. And it's a bitch to stir that sometimes if the weather's cold. It's a big old jar. And the lady ringing me up, you will not believe this, Jericho. It's like a 40-something-year-old Mexican gal. I'm Mexican. Maybe I was her type. She looked at me. I shit you not. She looked at me and said, I bet you got to be really strong to stir that up. I was like, wow. Someone needs to hit this lady with the hose or something.
Like I stir it with my dick. You should see me do it.
Calm down, lady. Yeah,
get that thing ready to go and just fucking throw that dick in there. Like, oh, how am I going to clean all this peanut butter off of my dick? I have an idea.
Need I bring up fish again, like in Indiana Jones? Fish has no place on this channel.
Fish is delicious. Again, the shortcomings of your mouth.
No, I ban fish from this channel.
Somebody had a JG comment in there. I'm unequivocally what? Right? Yes.
You're talking about the trash. You're talking about the trash PBJ.
Thank you very much, Scott. That is true.
How dare you? How dare you?
You don't got it.
Bread and your peanut butter.
It's a PB&J.
Let me guess. You're gonna have a fucking high C with it too,
if necessary. Your version of the peanut butter and jelly sandwich is when somebody sings the national anthem and it's an amazing song on its own. Don't put too much on it.
No,
you're doing too much, Gabe. You're doing too much. Bring your mouth down here with the common folk and eat accordingly. That's what I say.
Captain Hoon is trying to say that the cashier was mocking me, implying that I couldn't stir it, and she was probably offered to stir it for me. Good try, Captain Bruno. But if you saw what I saw in this woman's eyes, she needed some tenderness, and I was not the man for the job, as I am married.
You should have taken that jar of peanut butter and just smashed it upside her head. Bitch, I'm strong enough. Get your left hand out of your pants.
Who's knocking high C now?
See? Miser gets it. He gets it.
Do you drink? I said, do you drink?
I don't drink anything.
You drink Hawaiian punch. You drink it?
No, not for years. But in high school, that was my go-to. That was my go-to, dude.
This is not a racist question.
Yes,
do you drink grape Fanta?
No, I don't drink grape anything. Okay. That's the worst flavor. Okay. That's like the lime flavor of candies.
Do you like Nutella? Tony C's bringing up Nutella.
Oh, Nutella is delicious. It's like spreadable chocolate. I'm listening.
It's all right. I think it's all right. I'm not a big fan of the hazelnut. I think the hazelnut is fine.
But that's just chocolate. It's like hazelnut chocolate.
It's like half hazelnuts and half chocolate. It is. Look at it. Says it on the package.
It's delicious. I'm down with Nutella.
So
how about a Nutella peanut butter sandwich? Huh?
Nutella and peanut butter. It might be good. I don't think I've tried that. That sounds pretty good.
I think it would be great. You probably have to have it on some artisan fucking nuts.
I just like whole wheat. Just whole wheat. You know the best peanut butter sandwich to me, but you have to have two because they're tiny. An English muffin. Oh yeah.
Toasted. Still hot.
Crusty toasted. And you got the butter going into the nooks and crannies. Right? You got the butter. Yeah. Ooh, I had that for breakfast. I had an English muffin with chunky peanut butter and imported French jelly. Indeed. It's very nice.
I think I'd rather have a nook than a cranny. They're good together.
Talk about right. Hunch the Dirty Roofer. Y'all going to see that Ministry of Ungentlemanly Warfare this weekend? If so, after Rent the Guns of Navarone, you'll appreciate some of the homages so much more. I didn't hear about that movie at all until I heard Alan Ritchson, the star of Reacher, go on an insane anti-Christian, anti-Trump rant this week. He did.
I gotta unfollow him off Instagram now.
Dude, he's a woke tard. He's a woke tard for real.
I'm going right now to unfollow his ass.
Yeah. So,
damn it. Why they gotta open their mouth and say shit that doesn't pertain to their expertise?
I don't know. Wow, Gabe, does the black guy like grape stuff? Rude. Well, listen. Jericho was already late. I mean, I think black guy late to the show.
I had to feed my son, damn it.
Right.
CPS would come knocking if I didn't. What's his name? Alan Rickson or whatever?
Rich son.
Rich, here he is. Unfollow. Yeah. Damn it, man.
Christians love Trump as the SA. I don't want to say the words on YouTube. And Oh, he just went on the typical bullet points of the libtards. So whatever. Dude.
Unfollow. What a piece of shit.
So that's it. And you know what? Reacher season 2 kind of sucked anyway. So that's the end of you, bro.
It did. The first season was good. I couldn't get past the first episode of the second season.
I watched the whole second season with my wife, and we looked at each other when we finished the final episode, the 8th or the 6th episode, whatever. We turned to each other on the couch, and I'm thinking it sucked, but I didn't want to ruin it for her because she likes it. And then my wife said to me, "Did you like that?"
I'm glad you said it first, sweetheart.
Right.
Nope.
I got to tell you, Jericho, and this isn't me making up for my grape comment, my grape soda comment. You have lost weight already in 2 weeks. I could see it right here. Keep it rolling. I'm not even kidding. You look like a little thinner right here, like in the neck and all that. So good.
I'm gonna start. I told your wife this story when we were hanging out at the event on Wednesday.
Yeah.
But I used to work with this lady. Her and her husband lost a bunch of weight, like 50 pounds plus, like big time. And there was like another 10, 15 pounds they couldn't shake. So they came up with the bright idea to do meth for a little bit to lose the weight. And she did. They both did, but she got off of it and he couldn't, and ended up ruining their marriage. I'm like, what the fuck? Not only is it bad enough that one of you came up with that idea, but the other one agreed to it. So what I'm trying to say is, people, don't smoke meth.
I'm not a doctor, YouTube. This isn't medical advice. But I'll just tell you guys, and I'll never back down from this. Don't do meth. I'm not a doctor. I know I'm not an expert. Don't do meth ever. That's my advice. So
I'll follow that. I'll follow that advice. No problem.
Even if you have 10 pounds that you just can't shake, don't do meth. Don't
meth
do it.
is not the answer.
It's never the answer.
Hunt's
the dirty roofer. He's talking about Alan Richardson. He's been that way from the jump, being a libtard, I think is what he means. I call it the end of the first season, and the second was effed. Same happened to Jack Ryan. Yeah, it's a shame. It's a shame because I really liked Reacher. I didn't think the first season was woke. The second one, they were really flirting with girl boss wokeness, but they were still tough guy shit going on. And then it just wasn't. You have to stick the ending of a story. The ending of a story that you write, as a writer, I will tell you this. I'm an expert on this. The ending of the story is the exact same thing as the punchline of a joke. A and B better freaking add up to C, or else the audience is be like, eh. And the ending of Reacher season 2 sucks. It doesn't deliver. It sucks.
And when first thing, that scene in the first season where he gets in prison and those guys come in and tell him, "I want your sunglasses," that scene was amazing.
Yeah.
But when this kind of shit happens, you're taking something away from me. I have this toy, I'm playing with it, I love it. And then you do something like that and you take it away from me. I wasn't done playing with that. I wanted to continue watching that. I wanted to continue enjoying that series. But then you do some stupid shit like that. Now it's like going in your room and taking your kid's favorite toy right out of their hand. Why'd you do that?
Right.
Why did you do that to me? I like that. So fuck you, Alan, whatever your last name
Alan
is.
Richardson.
You big 6'5" roided out bitch.
You big super handsome muscular dude with an amazing chin and smoldering eyes.
Pecs that I wish for. He is. He's a big, giant, muscular, handsome dude. And to have all those attributes and waste it on some woke bullshit.
Do you think guys like him on The Rock believe that shit? Or they're like, I know who's paying me. I better just fucking say it. Because I worked for the Hollywood companies and I didn't say what they wanted me to say. But for a while, I just said nothing and did my work.
I definitely think they're having their strings pulled by a puppet master. Because you can't be that big and strong and be a pussy.
You're right. You can't hit the gym. The guy that looks like that at his age, like 40, looking like that old or whatever he is, you're hitting the gym multiple times a week. You got to be masculine, right? Even if you're on steroids, you still work hard.
No, I think at least two nights a week, he's holding his knees up by his ears and his wife's just going to town on his stinker. That's what I think.
Fallout was surprisingly good, Brandon says. Spoiler, the trans character had a self-harm moment. Very questionable, but the character was pretty starkly in the background. I don't know a lot about Fallout. My brother liked that game. My son played that video game. It seemed intriguing to me. I never got into it. I've heard that the Fallout show's okay. Maybe. I just, for whatever reason, I'm not interested. I guess because I didn't play the game. I'm like, eh.
And not now. Yeah. Now that there's a Ku Klux trans member that has a Self-harm mode.
And I heard there's like Game of Thrones unnecessary sex scenes in it, and I'm just like, I don't need that. Like, why do you have to do that to everything?
Yeah, I'm all about TNA, but yeah, you can't have too much of a good thing.
Oh, Shrapnel, you spoke too soon. Friend, yay, a stream where people are not bitching about Fallout.
All right, we won't anymore, I promise.
Okay. And thank God I have my holy grail with Lord of the Rings Extended. I love those movies. I haven't seen them in probably 10, 50 years. I watched them a million times in college. My kids were little when those came out. My kids were toddlers when those were out, and they loved them. They had the big action figures and all that. I'll have to revisit that. And speaking of collected editions, I just ordered yesterday, comes out on June 4th, the Ultra 4K HD plus Blu-ray plus digital download of the Back to the Future trilogy. I just ordered that. It was $55. They will deliver it on the day it releases, June 4th. So
speaking of the trilogy.
Speaking of, here we
Damn.
are, an hour and a half into the show. So
Yeah, we're starting the show.
Right.
That's how we do. You regulars know what's up. We've talked about food. We've talked about pop culture. Now we'll get to the main course.
Yeah, well, it's worse
that's
now.
Even a food reference.
Now that we're both so committed to losing weight, it's worse because we got to talk about food. Because
man. You should see my timeline on if you go on Instagram and hit like search, it brings up all the shit you're interested in. It's a shame.
Most guys, they're looking at chicks in bikinis and stuff like that, and their wife's like, "What the hell is this?" But your wife's gonna get your phone and look at it, and you're just pies and cakes and tacos and roast beef. And
well, you know why? Because when I hit my goal of weight loss, I'm gonna stick my toe back in the pool of the things I used to eat. I'm not gonna go crazy. I don't want to undo all my hard work. But yeah, there's some things that if I see something cool, it's a cool recipe and it's easy, I'll save it and go back to it. Peace out, Kara 7399. Sleep
Kara.
tight. Don't let the big bugs bite.
Yeah, she's way up there. I don't know if she's in Michigan or New York, or she's somewhere up there where it's cold. Cold in the East Coast. Double Impact, Back to the Future 3. Now, to me,
yes.
I talk a good game about Back to the Future like I'm some Back to the Future aficionado. Love Huey Lewis and the News. By the way, their album Sports, I never got, why is it called Sports? And then I realized, it's a corny dad joke. Huey Lewis and the News. What's on the news when you watch the news? Weather, sports, traffic, blah, blah, blah. Because, and here's proof to back that up. Do you know what their latest album from like 2008 or 10 or whatever is? It's called Weather, that album. So it's the sports on the news. It's the weather on the news. Like, oh, okay, I get it. I always wondered why that album was called Sports. And now I know.
Clever.
Now I know.
Also, I just saw that documentary on We Are the World. And Huey Lewis is in that, of course. And what a great documentary. What a cool dude he is. He's one of the people that they interview now, all these years later.
Right.
Because a lot of them are dead. But yeah, it was really cool. I've always liked Huey Lewis in the News. Huey Lewis is that quintessential 80s sound. You can't talk 80s music without Huey Lewis in the News, like you mentioned, Phil Collins,
right,
and shit like that, Michael Jackson, Whitney Houston. There's just that collection of and I don't know, was stardom different? I guess it was different in the 80s because they had a level of fame that it just can't. I mean, I guess if you're like on a Taylor Swift level or Beyonce or something like that, they have a lot of stardom, but it just felt different.
Would you even compare Taylor Swift to Beyonce to people like Huey Lewis and Phil Collins? I don't think they're 1/10 the artist guys like him are.
No,
not a 10th of the musical talent and skills. I don't think so. They seem like completely phony Hollywood creations.
Yeah. Okay, Mom.
This is my daughter chiming in. Dad, have you really not started? You know what?
Yeah, we'll get started.
I don't care if you're 27. Go to bed. Go to bed right now.
Now. Leave the baby with Adrian and go to bed.
Go to bed. Go to your room. How dare you?
I'd be glad to go to my room nowadays. Like, all right, see ya.
I don't spend a lot of time in my room. I get out of my room first thing in the morning. I wake up, I pray up, brush my teeth, make my bed, and leave my room. I do not go back till it's bedtime, like at 10 or 11 at night. I go back
after my walk in the morning. Got to drop a Duke, but then after that, I don't go back until bedtime.
Yeah, stay out of there. I'm in my office all day, pretty much. Office, kitchen.
But I like going, when you're away from your room that long and you get to bed, it's like, where you been, girl? Where you been?
When he says jokes on you, I want to sleep.
Right? That
Next
shit ain't a
week,
punishment no more.
next week, at the world famous Comedy Store, the Sunset Strip in Hollywood, California, my daughter will be going up against some Indian fellow, I don't remember his name, for roast battle round 5. She wins round 6. She is the Southern California 2024 champion of the roast battle.
Yeah, they better give you something like a trophy or a fucking Super Bowl ring or something.
This is
You
the
need to
stage.
be rewarded for your hard work.
Sam Kinison, Jerry Seinfeld, everyone you can think of, the Comedy Store. This is Pauly Shore's famous family opened that Comedy Store in Hollywood. Mitzi Shore, the godmother, another godfather of comedy there in Hollywood. Joe Rogan, everyone you can think of. These are the hallowed halls. My daughter's performed on that stage plenty of times, but now she's going to be a champion. Comedy Store, Hollywood, Los Angeles. For those of you who follow me, you've been seeing me post the last few months. She keeps going up there and beating people's asses in the roast battle. This stuff is so spicy, I can't say it on YouTube.
Oh, I love it.
Jericho knows it. It's
love it.
hilarious. Remember, we were at breakfast with Dean last week, and Minnie was there, and she told Dean one of the jokes, and he rubbed the cross on his neck and looked up and said, "I had nothing to do with that."
That's the beauty of a roast. That's like the last frontier. Like you really, you get fucking brutal on that.
She roasted Dean. She said, "I wrote a roast for you, Dean, at breakfast." And she told him, "I'll tell it. I hope I don't butcher." She says, "Dean Cain looks like if Superman retired and got a mortgage." He laughed. He liked it. So he's a good sport.
Yeah, she's good. She's good.
Yeah. A pot roast or something at least. That's what you win. You win the roast battle, so they give you a pot roast.
I wouldn't be mad at that. You get when you're done eating, you get to keep the crock pot.
There
That's
you go.
cool.
There you go. All right. So Back to the
do it.
Future. I've seen
Let's
all
do
3
it.
movies. I watched them over the course of like 3-4 days. I rented them on Amazon for about $3 a piece. This one I remember the least, but I remember not hating it, and I remember everyone telling me it was the bad one. I don't think it's bad. I think it's different, and I think that's what bothers people. It's different because Marty's not the main character. Doc Brown is. And it's all about Doc Brown's love story with, I even forgot the girl's name. That's what this movie is about. So I think that's tonally, Biff is kind of barely in it. And the movie was always about Biff and Marty. And in this movie, it's mostly about Doc Brown and the girl and the lady here, his lady friend. So
yeah, Clara is her name.
Must be
Clara Clayton. This movie, if Back to the Future was a really cool outfit, like say you're going out somewhere and you're getting dressed up, and you have your Back to the Future outfit on, part 3 is like the shoes that just don't match. They're the cool shoes,
right,
but they just don't go with that cool ass outfit you have on,
right,
or that nice dress for all the ladies out there. Yeah, but like I told you before we started, it's not as shitty as I remember it being.
Yeah.
My memory was like, man, that movie sucks. But after watching it, was cool. Had some good lines in there, some great scenes, but it just didn't fit with the rest of it. Right. And Doc Brown is a little more. He's always been the main character, but Marty would kind of go off on his own adventures in the first 2 for a little bit, and then kind of meet back up. But this
I always felt like Marty was the main character in the first 2.
Yeah, for sure. But Doc Brown, he's more of the main character in this one, and his whole love story with Claire.
Sure.
But shout out to her. What's her name? Mary Steenburgen.
That's quite a name.
I've seen her in other Western movies, but she did great. She's great at playing that role, the mom from Step Brothers.
Well cast, because she carries off that very like conservative prettiness they would do, where it was modesty. It was a better time. Because like nowadays, I hate to say, a lot of women out in public dress the way prostitutes would dress in 80s and 90s TV shows. Like that's their everyday dress when you go out of the house. It's bizarre. And it was just a better time when there was some mystery to a woman. They weren't wearing pants so tight I could tell what they were thinking.
Yeah. See that moose knuckle in the front.
Oh.
But yeah, the modest, there's something to be said about modesty, and there's something to be said about it even more so if you're married, because you get to take that home and take that wrapping off. So
right. Would you want all your presents under the Christmas tree just dumped there unwrapped? That's modern women's fashion. Like, flop it out. Here it is. You like? Whereas I would like it wrapped with a bow, beautifully presented. You know, tease me for a couple weeks looking under that tree. Like, yeah, I'm going to get a hold of you.
I'm going to get that.
I'm going to unwrap you.
It's going to be over quick, but I'm going to unwrap it. But, you know, like, but when women dress like that, it's kind of weird because as a man, you're going to look and you're going to smash, but that's it. You're putting a ceiling on yourself.
Right.
You know, the way you present yourself, it really shows how far a man would take it with you. And if you're dressed like that, yeah, you'll get that attention, but that attention is going to be short-lived and you'll be nothing but a booty call.
Right. And maybe perhaps a short call, and in fact, a collect call for those of you that remember what those are.
Yep.
Guys, vote early, vote often. The Creamy Chunky War begins now.
Vote or die.
Remember,
Rock the
chunky.
vote.
On this channel, we love chunky peanut butter. We hate seafood.
No, you do.
Those are the rules.
You do.
She represented virtue. There you go, Mouse. See.
Mm-hmm. Good movie. And speaking of, I guess we should probably get started.
So we picked up at the end of episode 2, volume 2, Back to the Future. He gets the note in the rain from those guys. They've had the note for like 70 years from Doc Brown back in the 1800s where he got trapped. Mm-hmm. They were trying to leave the 50s, and he got zapped by lightning. Michael J. Fox fell out of the car or whatever onto the ground. He did not get sucked back into cowboy days, but Doc Brown did. He lives there. He's happy, and he wrote a note to Marty telling him, I've hidden the car in, underground in a mine shaft or whatever. Hopefully in 1955 or 85 or whatever, you could find it in the future. So we pick up at that ending scene there where we get the classic lightning on the clock tower. And it turns out in the cowboy days, guess who built the giant clock? It was Dr. Emmett Brown who built the giant clock. They don't say it, but they show it in some photographs.
Yes.
So, but what happens here? Because I've only seen this once. I'm having a little bit trouble remembering. It's been 3 weeks since I've seen this one time. And Marty is in the 50s and he goes to visit Doc Brown, right? Does he look him up in a phone book? I don't remember.
He sees him because in that scene in the very beginning, Doc Brown sends him into the future. And then right after the flame tracks on the ground, Marty comes running around the corner. Doc, and he's like, what the fuck? I just sent you back. He's like, no, I had to come back. So that's how they're reuniting this. And Marty comes running back around the corner. Think about what you think about. That's what I'm talking about. This
is the list of people going to be banned from the channel, by the way. Just, enjoy your last, 30 seconds. Creamy. Look at this. That's disgusting. Team Cream.
I'm down for that. In both meanings for that.
Jeez. And look at that. Look at that. This is unsatisfying. It's tied at 50.
Cream on your team.
Look at that. It's tied.
I think you're the one who voted for the chunky. I don't think anybody.
You can't vote in your own polls when you're on your own channel. It doesn't allow it.
No, you have another channel.
I do have 3 other channels. I could log in. Hey, my family, if you're watching, Minnie, Adrian, Peter, vote for Chunky, please. Vote for Dad.
Minnie, remember, he just sent you to bed. Don't vote for that shit.
Vote from your bed on the Wi-Fi that I pay for.
And then go right back to sleep.
On the laptop that I bought you, in the roof that I put over your head.
And then go back to
Stop
sleep.
Stop the count.
Yeah. Captain Haruno knows what the fuck's going on.
Yeah, he said stop it because they're at 60-40. Damn it.
Hey, this poll's feeling real 2020. That's all I'll say.
Scott, how would you say that? Gelano, right? That is he Canadian, I think?
Gelano.
Is that not a real name? I don't know.
Do you live in Montreal?
Team Cream Pie, come on, man.
Do you live under that tyrant, that life-size vagina? Justin Castro.
Boy. Look how gross you cream people are. A creamy boy? Come on, dude. See, Mouse C's on my side. Cheating.
Scott is, I think, Team Cream Pie. That's different, man. You don't want to put that on a sandwich.
Oof. Talk about a fluffer nutter.
He said, no, not Canadian. Don't you fucking insult me.
Don't you ever say that about me again.
That's taking it too far.
I will never eat that round bacon.
Yeah, that's not even bacon, Canada. Fuck you. That's not bacon.
Canadian
fucking
bacon.
ham.
Do they now hold on? If you're in Canada, do they call it Canadian bacon or do they just call it bacon?
That's even worse.
Because they already know they're in Canada. They don't have to clear that,
That's even worse. Well, we say American cheese.
We do.
We don't call it cheese.
Look at this. Creamy. is for sissies that can't chew. I stand by that.
Damn.
With your untoasted white Wonder Bread, you don't need to chew that either. You're just like a goose, just like shaking it down your throat, all disgusting.
Ew, don't do that.
They call it American ham.
That's what it fucking is. It's just a ham. Ain't no damn bacon. Stupid Canada. Eh?
Oh, geez, American ham. That's hilarious.
That's
Anyway,
my nickname.
so here's what's happened.
That's what I call my dick.
There are Doc Browns and Martys everywhere now. They're in the 50s, they're in the 1800s, they're in the
Fucking
80s.
all over the place.
This is a fucking mess. So yeah, Doc Brown got stuck in the cowboy days, and
Yeah, he's
Marty
been there for
got-
8 months.
right. Ugh. Let's see. So this is 1985 Marty with 1955 Doc Brown, right? And then the other Marty went back to the future. I can't believe I just said that phrase. And so this one is like, no, you're stuck in the cowboy days. I got to help you out. This is some weird stuff, man. Do you think they were just smoking some serious weed when they came up with this story?
They were snorting something. This is the 80s.
It was snowing in Burbank again.
If hearing somebody say Back to the Future gets you off, you're going to be real tired at the end of this movie because they say it 475 fucking times. Back to the Future. I sent you Back to the Future. I went back to the future. She's back to the future. We're back to the future. It was fucking crazy.
All right. Look at this. David P. Creamy is for sissies who can't chew. Think about what you think about with that. I got to admit, a righteous clapback. I'm not the one who puts nuts in my mouth.
That's right.
Oh,
You guys put nuts in your mouth.
You just put the cream from the nuts in your mouth, buddy. Yeah.
Tomato.
Whatever.
The thing that produces the cream or the cream itself. Both
Scott
pretty gross.
Gelino. Don't mind me. I'm in the middle of my daily 12-hour shift listening to you guys while I work. Whistle while you work like the dwarves, please. By the way, is Shant's not a thing anymore? Sorry if I stepped over line with that. You didn't step over line. It's a fair question because he was here for like a year and a half.
Fucking did.
Sean's not part of the show anymore. I wish him well. You guys should check out his channel and support his work. He's a great artist and a family man. And that's all I got to say about that.
Yeah, and he does horror movie watch party on Thursdays.
There you go.
Show Shant some love.
Yeah. Brandon, last time I watched this was when my brother was in the hospital. Oh, okay.
Hope
But
it
he's
was
out
like
now.
He's
on the
minor
mend.
shit.
It's on the mend.
Good.
Smoked my own share of brain-bending substance back then, Mouse. See, well, there you go.
Right?
And okay, now I said, well, now you know. If you didn't know, if you don't know, now you know.
Now you know, Scott.
Great Scott. You help me out here,
Scott's
Jericho,
party.
because my memory of this third movie is a little patchy. I don't know why.
Yeah, he's basically trying to figure out how Marty came back and what's going on in 1885 and why he needs to get back to 1885. And he's telling him he's telling him Marty's telling him about the future, because in the letter it says mentions Einstein. He's like, who's Einstein? He's like, that's your dog that you have in 1985 and all this shit. So Marty's telling him about 1985 because he brings that letter as proof that, because he doesn't believe him.
Right.
He doesn't believe that he's back from the future. So he tells him, yeah, this is a letter you wrote me, and all that kind of shit. So
how would you react to someone bringing you a letter, Jericho, and you said, Jericho, you're really back in the 1800s. This is the letter that you wrote to me. Then you read some letter that is in your voice and your handwriting, but you don't remember ever saying any of this shit.
That would be a fucking trip. I'd probably ask him to leave. And I'd only ask him once.
All right. So then, so the letter that Doc Brown has in his hands there is the letter that the cowboy Doc Brown wrote in the 1800s. This is 1950s doo-wop Doc Brown. Doop, 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 wah. And
hold on. Timeout, Gabe. We got to do that movie too. 3 Men and a Baby.
Good night, sweetheart. Where time to go.
That movie's a shit.
That's a funny one. Yeah. That was
It is.
Tom Selleck, Ted Danson, and Steve Guttenberg, right?
Gutenberg. Hey, Ted Danson goes in the 80s time capsule too.
Yeah,
you can't have the 80s without Ted Danson.
A letter in your voice. Yes. How would you say it, Captain Haruno, you wordsmith?
You fucking word police. Word pig.
Yeah. How would you say it? So anyway, they go to the secret location where Cowboy Doc Brown told Doo-Wop Doc Brown, hey, cool cats, boys and
Hey,
girls, this is
Daddy-O.
Doo-Wop Doc Brown coming to you live over the air. And he says it's buried over here because he's in the same town, but it's Cowboy Days, and he's buried it over in a mine shaft or whatever. But now there's like a graveyard over there. So they're going to go spelunking. The young man and the doctor are going to go spelunking in the 50s looking for the DeLorean. But when they're go ahead.
Is this in California? Because there's something later in the movie that makes you think it's California.
It is. They're
Okay.
It was filmed in California, but they mention in one of the movies that this is Southern California.
Okay.
Captain Bruno, I said in your voice and in your handwriting. I said both. What I mean by your voice is the way, your diction, your syntax, the way that you speak colloquially. That's all I meant. I wasn't trying to be funny. That's all. That's all it is, man. That's all it is. That's all it is.
So, hey, calm down.
It's
Chill
like
out,
on The
man.
Office when Jim sends Dwight's letters from the future. God, I love The Office. I don't know if you like it, but I love that show.
I watched it a little bit. Yeah, it's really funny. That was a nice time. That was like the end of non-bullshit
Right.
TV shows.
Right. They had so many like anti-woke jokes on there that you couldn't get away with now. One of my favorite ones, it's one of in like the first 5 episodes, they're having sensitivity training because Michael Scott told Chris Rock's joke, dropping all kinds of N-bombs, and he didn't understand why that was insensitive. So they send a sensitivity trainer to the office, and one of the exercises they come up with is you write a minority group on a 3x5 card and hold it on your head. So someone has Jew, someone has Asian, someone has woman, someone has and Dwight has Asian on his card. and the exercise is you're supposed to try and describe the card the person's holding, and they can't read it. But you're supposed to describe it without being racist or prejudiced.
Yeah, that'll end well.
Or whatever. And Pam's like, some people, I don't believe this. Some people say you people aren't good at driving. And Dwight goes, oh my God, I'm a woman. I thought that was a great joke.
I think, and maybe some people don't agree with this, but The Office, Arrested Development, 30 Rock, Parks and Rec, I like those shows. The old ones, I liked them. I thought they were fucking hilarious. I don't know what they're up to now. We can only imagine. I thought those shows were hilarious back in the day.
I never saw Parks and Rec. My kids saw it and they really liked it. We bonded on The Office. My kids were like middle school when I found The Office. I discovered it like in season 3 or 4. I'd heard about it, but we just don't watch TV in this house. We don't have cable usually. Haven't had cable probably in a decade, but we had it off and on with the kids going. We get it. I would order cable TV to get the NFL season. Remember when you had to do direct TV satellite to watch the Denver Broncos because you lived in San Diego? So we would have TV like half the year off and on sometimes. I don't do it anymore. But I discovered The Office and we bonded over watching it. And it was clean enough for me. Sometimes there was a little bit of sexual jokes or whatever. I didn't like that. But usually the show, The Office, was clean and it had heart. Like they loved each other and they cared about each other, these friends at work and stuff. And it had pretty good morals, the show. You know, the people were awful, but evil was punished on that show. When people did bad things, they were punished and bad things happened to them. It was all comedic, but it didn't teach you that being evil was good and that you would just get away with it. You know, there were consequences. So I got Dwight's autograph. He wrote, "Don't be an idiot." That's hilarious. Oh, that's really funny. Yeah, there's so many great quotes from The Office. So many amazing scenes. I love how much Michael Scott hates Toby, the HR guy. Do you remember that they're just like arch enemies?
No, I didn't get that deep into it. I only seen a few episodes.
Toby's always busting Michael Scott for doing bad things, politically incorrect things, incompetent things. Michael, you can't choke like that or whatever, you know? And he hates him. He's always, Toby, why are you here? Nobody likes you. One time Toby walks in his office and Michael Scott tells him, the boss, he says, oh, hey, Toby, shut your door on the way out.
I might watch that.
Like little jokes like that are so funny. I bought it on DVD though, like 3 years ago, because when they do all this streaming stuff, I realize they're going to edit the politically correct jokes out of it. You know, and they will. The racist jokes, the anti-feminist, the anti-woke, all that, they will edit them out eventually on the streaming services. So I bought it on DVD. Anyway, they go to the graveyard. I was working in the lab late one night. They go to the graveyard to do the monster mash ostensibly.
The monster mash.
They did the mash. The monster
graveyard smash.
This is Doc Doo-Wop Brown bringing you the monster mash. And them and Einstein, they go underground. They find the DeLorean. But another thing, another thing they find in the graveyard is the tomb of one Emmett Brown, killed by none other than Biff. He got
Biff's ancestors.
Right. Oh, that's true. It's Biff's ancestor. That is true.
Butthead.
Good night, Brandon.
Peace out, boo.
Good night, sweet prince. We'll keep it going on the West Coast for you, baby. Let's see. So
yeah,
now, go ahead.
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
Oh, so now he realizes he can't go like back to 1985 or whatever in the hidden DeLorean. He has to go to the cowboy days, because Doc Brown, in his letter from the cowboy, Doc Brown was like, I'm happy here. I found some woman I'm in love with. I'm going to stay here. You know, like, leave me here, blah, 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 whatever. Right? Doesn't he tell him that? And then he's like, and then Michael J. Fox, Marty, he finds out, oh, you can't stay there, bro, because you get shot 2 days after you wrote me that letter or whatever. Yep. Like, he gets blasted. So he's got a, what's going on with the creamy peanut butter? You drinking? Think about what you think of Cream Dream. Come on, bro.
He's dizzy off that no baby sleep,
I guess. Mad Dog Tannen, that's Biff's ancestor of the cowboy days. The only thing, I thought he looked like a cool bandito, Mad Dog Tannen. I thought he didn't resemble that actor, and it was the actor, but they had him in so much filth and his bandolero and his duster jacket and his guns and his cowboy hat and his giant mustache. You can't tell it's I think F. Thomas Wilson is the actor. You can barely tell it's him.
But I think that's why he turned it up a little bit with his acting to still kind of get that Biff to come through, even though he wasn't recognizable to the eye. But I think he did a good job. I think he did a real good job playing Mad Dog Tannen and kind of being that, you know, not playing the 50s Biff. You know, I think he did a good job.
Right. So Captain Harunum brings up an interesting point here. Does it make anyone else mad that Graves engraved with all the fonts? Yeah, what the hell is that? It would have
probably new. They're like, oh, make this
one chiseled in the old days. It would have all looked the same.
But that's what they ordered. Maybe that's what the people ordered. They wanted different fonts and shit.
I don't know if I can put this into the words the way I want to stress this, the gravity of what I'm trying to say here. But California has 22 Catholic missions, and I've been to like 7 of them. And my goal with my wife is to eventually just meet them all. It's part of California history. I love California history, pioneer days, the natives, the Catholics coming in, all of it. I think it's fascinating history. I'm a big history guy, as I was telling Kara earlier. And I go to the Catholic, the missions, you know, their churches and graveyards and all that, where the monks used to live and all that. And walking into those graveyards is weird, where the Catholics were buried, because, you know, they were buried hundreds of years ago, some of them, and then some were buried in, 1927. And it's so weird to think of the recency bias that we have as humans of like, well, this is me and this is my reality. This is all how it is. But you look at someone who died in 1947, like, that person never knew who Elvis Presley was. Mm-hmm. And I don't know how to express how weird of a thought that is. You know what I mean? Something that is so big to us never even happened in their lifetime. Do you know what I'm trying to say? Like,
I get it.
And someone will look at our graves one day and be like, Jericho doesn't even know who blah, blah, blah is. You know, like, it's, I don't know. It's just, and it kind of tells you, like, are the things we stress about and get all weird about, are they really as big a deal as we think? Because this person lived a whole life, happy, sad, whatever, a full life. They had no idea who Bill Clinton was. You know, like, it didn't matter, you know?
Yeah, they never saw all this woke bullshit either. Yeah. I grew up near the San Juan Bautista mission. So we would go there for field trips. We go there sometimes just to go and walk around. They have a really locally famous Mexican restaurant called Doña Esther near there. One of those places you grew up watching the commercials on TV and stuff. So we go there and eat. And then 4th grade, and they still do this, 4th or 5th grade, but for me it was 4th grade. You're assigned a mission and you have to build a model. You have to
out of sugar cubes, right?
Oh, well, some kids did that, but I didn't. I actually did mine out of cardboard. We had little animals in the front, like a farm and stuff. But to go there and read like the little plaques they have there and stuff about the Indians, and so I was there a few years ago, and it was like the way they described how the Indians built the mission they made it sound like the Indians, oh, they loved it. They loved, like, they would whistle while they worked, like that kind of thing. And I was like, oh, that wasn't true. But they kind of sugarcoated it on the little plaque.
Probably a little more intense than that. You know?
Probably.
I think it's fascinating to look into our history. I've been to the San Juan Capistrano. I've been, to the one San Diego. I've been to them all over down Southern California. I think the one in San Juan Capistrano, that's the famous one where the swallows return to San Juan Capistrano. You've heard that. Swallows, a type of bird, and they come once a year back to this Catholic mission, and they have nests that they've had up there. And and I guess through the years, maybe the century, some of the monks there take care of that to make sure those can come back. And I think in that same one, you just find the most random historical stuff. There was a giant document hand signed by Abraham Lincoln, like something to do with, I think, making California a state or something like that. There were some documents in there signed. It was amazing to look at some of this stuff. I don't know. I'm a history nerd. I love history stuff.
So you gotta come up the coast, man, to the Monterey area where I used to live. I used to live 30 minutes from San Juan Bautista Mission, about 35 minutes from the Carmel Mission. Monterey was California's first capital and stuff like that. There's a lot of history up there, man. They have like the historical path that you can walk, and they have like even as a kid, I like going there and seeing, how they used to cook and make their clothes and all that kind of stuff, and grind the corn or whatever. Like, that shit's really cool to me. I think old farming tools and shit like that.
Yeah, I went to another one. I don't remember which it was because I've been to a few, like I said, and I saw that stuff you're saying, that the tools, hunting tools that the natives had, stuff the Catholic monks had to make tan leather, to make wine. They had these giant pits where they would ferment the wine in, but the tops were they were like giant cisterns in the ground, like hold thousands of gallons or hundreds of gallons of wine they would make. It was fascinating, with plumbing built into the ground, with like terracotta pipes. What is a sugar cube? A sugar cube is exactly what it sounds like.
Exactly. Yeah.
It's a little 3-dimensional cube of sugar that you drop into a hot glass of tea or coffee. You can still get them at the store. They're pretty rare.
Yeah.
But like if you go to like an old person's house or your grandparents' house when you're a kid, they would have stuff like that. I guess it was just to make serving sugar easy and not have the dust and the mess everywhere. So that's what a sugar cube is.
Yeah.
Brandon, for 10 more American dollars that Joe Biden is trying to ruin with inflation. But we will not be stopped, Sleepy Joe. Sleepy Joe, not a good guy.
Not a good guy. He's a real piece of shit.
Brandon forgot to tip the bartender. Thank you, Brandon. And here you go.
Shake, shake, shake. Shake, shake, shake. Shake your booty. Shake your booty.
That's right.
Yeah, I've been working on a Trump. I want to have it ready by November or like October, when the election really heats up a little bit. But it's a little nasally.
It's a hard impersonation. We're both past 50%. We both get the gist, but I don't think either of us are good at it yet. We're not horrible, but we're
I'm like I said, I want to have it ready when it gets close to election time. But you got to have the hands. You got to draw the air. Sloppy Joe. It helps to get your lips out. Yeah, he's a real cocksucker. Likes to suck cock. Greatest cocksucker ever.
And then he does that. Friction. He goes up sometimes.
There's so many angles, so many dimensions.
The best guy that I found is the guy I send you on Instagram, AJ Nazo. It's an Italian guy. He's the redheaded guy with freckles, and he's always I've sent him to you on Instagram, like private. The kid is hilarious.
Him,
the guy is hilarious.
Sean Gillis, he does a great one, and believe it or not, Jamie Foxx does an amazing Trump impersonation, whatever you want to call it. But I'm working on it, people. I'll have it ready for you. Maybe we'll add him to the pantheon of characters that we have here on Double Impact.
That would be amazing. Yeah, we should probably bring some people tonight. Hold on, let me see if I can find. We'll get back to the movie. We're 2 minutes
at some point.
This might be this might be a 7-parter. This episode. I'm looking for the Trump impersonator guy. I just sent it to someone in a DM. Man, I think I send too many DMs. I send a lot of them. I send you a lot of those McDojo Life ones, though. I know you love those, or at least you told me.
I find some every once in a while too. I'll send them. Like the guy who says it's easier to break somebody's bones in the morning.
My son sent me one that had me crying laughing. It was, I can't find it right now, but it was a karate teacher guy, and he could create a force field with his hands. So he challenged another guy to fight him. And like, no, you can't slap me and hurt me because my force field will protect me. I want you to see how that went. Let's bring this over and make sure there's nothing on my screen that's going to dock.
I'm guessing he got the shit slapped.
So this is the video. This is the video.
Oh yeah, this is an old one. Yeah, this is good.
So the gentleman in the white shirt has told the gentleman in the black shirt, I have mastered the chi or ki, I don't know how they pronounce it, energy. You may try to strike me, and your blows, they shall not land. Well, let's see how that went.
Okay. The dude fucks him up. Oh shit. The uppercut.
Okay.
Damn.
Oh, no, he wasn't ready. He wasn't ready. Let him try it again.
Dude,
Wasn't ready.
he's really hitting this fool. Bam. Whoa. Bam. Bam. Dude, he's fucking this dude up. That uppercut.
What is that dirty uppercut right there? What the hell's that about?
Dude, but his force field should have got it.
Yeah.
Dude, yeah, he beat the shit out.
He needs a little more work on the force field.
No.
I'm telling
Yeah,
you.
work on that force field, man.
Close.
Work on
Force field not working. Not a good force field.
Worst force field ever. Oh man.
Let's see. Gabe sliding into the peanut butter cashier's DM. How dare you? How dare you? She did, guys.
You brought this on
lady was hard
yourself,
up.
Gabe.
She looked at me with the look of love in her eyes. She's like, I bet you got to be real strong to stir that up.
Real strong. Did she like play with her lip? She like rub her tits or something when she said it?
She did the lip bite. You know, they just bite the bottom lip. And I promptly paid and got the hell out of there.
Yeah.
So there you go.
Thanks for making it weird, lady.
So I will accept defeat on this. I'll accept. I gotta end.
Damn.
Stop the count. Apparently, we have a bunch of
That
sissies.
was bad.
A bunch of sissies that like this garbage creamy peanut butter. That's fine. That's fine.
All you crunchy
More
people got
chunky.
fucked up mouths.
More chunky on artisan bread from me. You guys eat your creamy peanut butter. Eat it
Go
all.
ahead, put it in your mouth. All your gross mouths.
Yeah.
No, I think people that like chunky peanut butter like dicks. Somebody who likes chunky peanut butter will suck your dick.
Team Cream for the win. Whatever, dude.
Team Cream.
Get to the part where Doc Brown invents delicious cream peanut butter. Great Scott!
Great Scots, Marty. Team Cream.
The cream always rises. I don't even know you guys anymore.
Team Cream.
Did I ever know you guys?
I guess not.
Anyways, they got to get back in time, as Huey Lewis says.
Back
Because,
to the
he's got to
back
prevent
to the Back to the Future.
right back to yeah. We got to stop Mad Dog Biff whatever from killing Emmett Brown in the 1885. So let's move forward. Oh, here we go. Celebrate your victory now, Gelano. It will be short-lived.
Tell him, Scott.
Short. I'm
Team
gonna bring in ringers. The hardest hitting dudes I know.
Too late. We already
They
shut
all
down the
love
poll.
Chunky. I'm gonna go online and Facebook and look for a group called chunkylovers.com and hope
That
they're
might be
talking-
different.
and hope that they're talking about peanut butter.
Gabe, don't do it. Don't get that in your
Hold on.
search
Let me
history.
go there right now. Chunkylovers.com. Oh God! My eyes.
That's not peanut butter. Sure isn't.
Oh.
That is not peanut butter, sir. It
Chunky
might have
peanut butter
on
on
it.
French bread. Melwy. See, Mouse sees on my side. I do hope that creamy peanut butter runs down your chin on all of you.
Get some of that creamy peanut butter on the small of your back. That's
It's
hot.
okay, Gabe. You can partake in the Team Cream celebration. You know what? That's gonna be a no from me, dog.
Why is that peanut butter so hot?
You guys are like Major League Baseball players when they win the divisional round. They all have goggles on and they're shaking champagne in the locker room.
Yeah.
You guys are just throwing creamy peanut butter everywhere.
Team Cream. Yeah, and chunky peanut butter lovers never do. The fucking 80s. Yeah.
How sick is their stadium though when we drove by it? That's an amazing.
Gabe, what did I do when I drove past that stadium?
You did flip it off.
I did.
You did flip it to bird.
Because they deserve it. Fuck
If you ain't
Reavers.
making your own peanut butter from nuts and risking death, what's the point? Why would you die from making peanut butter?
Shit's
What in the world are you doing to your peanut butter? Whatever it is, nobody else do it, please.
This There used to be this show on Comedy Central called Kroll Show with Nick Kroll.
Oh.
And he'd do all these skits and stuff. And one of the characters were these guys who had ponytails.
Oh,
And one of the guys would go to the Trader Joe's or whatever, where you make your own peanut butter, and he was always getting his ponytail caught in the machine that would grind the peanuts and the peanut butter. Oh, that shit was so funny.
I really like those Spanish peanuts. They kind of have that thin red skin on them.
Mm-hmm.
Hard to find those though at the store. I don't know. I really like those. I don't see that. They don't have many of those.
Team Cream.
They didn't have any at Sprouts when I was looking the other day. How dare you?
Oh,
Why does all the liberals? Because like liberals love Sprouts. I like Sprouts. I'm not a liberal, but there's a certain type of customer that's the major demographic for Trader Joe's and Sprouts.
Yep.
These
Whole
people look
Foods.
like they have the worst broccoli tofu gas
Dude,
just searing in their belly at all times.
as you know, I worked for Trader Joe's for 13 years, and let me tell you, that is true.
Captain Haruno. Oh, just got the news. Mr. Peanut is coming to the party. Gonna steal his hat. Don't tell him. Oh, you rascal, you. Cacahuates. That's Espanol for peanuts.
Team Cream.
The real question is cereal soup. What do you got to say something like that for? Now I'm debating it in my own head.
That's gross.
Soup can be cold. Gazpacho, right? That horrible.
But that's the only one. That's salsa.
Maybe it's not
Gazpacho's
the only
fucking
one.
salsa.
Maybe all cereals are soups.
What? I'm down.
Oh,
whatever. Like, what is it? Is a hamburger a sandwich?
Is a hot dog a sandwich? It's not.
it?
A hot dog is not a sandwich. I don't know what it is, but it isn't a sandwich.
It's a hot dog.
But if
I
you
guess
took
a hamburger is a sandwich.
But look. If you took the hot dog out of the hot dog bun and you put anything else in there, ham and lettuce, and it's a sandwich. Same bun, even the same meat. Let's say it's ham sliced, like lunch meat. That's hot dogs are basically lunch meat, right? It's like formed meat. But a hot dog, curiously, is not a sandwich.
It's its own thing, man. It's a hot dog.
Huh. Very weird.
Hot dog. Fucking hot dog.
Hey, I'm gonna go watch the Cubs and eat a hot dogs.
Eat a fucking hot dog. Hey, bring me a dog over here. I think people who don't put ketchup on their hot dogs are fucking crazy. But anyway.
Right. Oh, you know what? People who get militant about how you need to eat. Like, oh, yeah, a real man doesn't put ketchup on his hamburger. It's mustard and cheese only.
Fuck that. I put ketchup on my hamburger.
Put pancake syrup if you want. It's yours. You're the one to eat.
Yeah. They're not making you eat it.
Yeah.
Weirdo. So yeah, I like the tires on here, the white walls.
Right. And I like
Very
Doc Brown.
50s.
He's got that nice 50s, like a little bit of that tiki aesthetic going on, that they had going in the 50s.
And back then, even when you're dressing down, you're still dressed up. Like that, you would go out and work in the yard like that. But it's still a button-up shirt, slacks,
Right.
hat. I like that. I can't wait to get older so I can just dress like that all the
Right. When you get older and your taste gets more refined, you'll switch to the whole grain wheat toast, like me, and you'll start wearing slacks when you mow the yard.
Yeah, if I have problems shitting, yes, I will.
I don't have a problem. Everything is good. I'm a healthy person. Captain Haruno, white wall tires are fire. Costco hot dogs are awesome. They are indeed, and they're still
Fucking
$1.50.
Costco, man. Shout out to Costco. They kept
was
their
just
food.
there.
How does Costco escape inflation?
I don't know what's going on over there. but
Why
I love
doesn't everybody do what Costco does?
it. This might be the most dad thing that you and I have ever spoken about. Going to Costco as a father.
It's fucking great. There's
Get a big-
everything in there. You could have an empty house, just walls. Costco has it. Clothes, furniture, TVs, food, toys, fucking everything. I love you, Costco.
The only thing Costco doesn't have is an intimate section. Can you imagine if they did, though?
Everything like a dildo section.
Yeah, you got like
Everything's big, though.
50 gallons of Astroglide or something,
And all the dildos are fucking huge. Like no small fry shit over here. Everything's 12 inches and up. It's gonna hurt.
Oh, geez.
That's what I put over that section. It's gonna hurt.
Yeah.
You know what? That reminds me of a business idea. I have two good business ideas.
Let's hear 'em. Lay 'em on
Number
me.
one, provide a service where you go to people's houses and all you do is fold and put away their laundry and put away dishes.
Okay.
People would fucking
So
love
a
that.
maid.
But that's all we do: laundry and dishes. Those are
Okay.
two things people fucking hate.
You could just marry a Mexican girl.
Like that's too late now. I can't do that now.
True. Okay.
But also, I have a business. It's called This Is Gonna Dirt, and it's a place where it's outside.
Hold on. That's a great fucking name. Go ahead.
Thank you. So it's an outdoor area where it's just mud and dirt for kids to play in. And there's like a little restaurant there where you get sandwiches, whatever, PB&J, chunky or creamy, team cream, and they have a place where they can wear smocks if they want you to kind of keep them clean.
Right.
Maybe now this section of the business is a little dicey, but try not to be a bunch of perverts. You could have like a little shower area, but it's like outdoor where you're just like rinsing them off. If it gets too crazy, or you can rent clothes, like some sweats and a t-shirt, but it's just a place where kids can play in the dirt. But I would have to put some kind of covering over it to keep cats from burying their shit in there at night.
Right.
But yeah, it's called.
I love a good name. I love a good name on a business. When I was in Las Vegas, I saw a little food truck right next to Guy Fieri's restaurant at the Link Casino. Little tiny food truck. And it was like Cookie Doughopolis or some lame name. And they serve basically cups and ice cream cones of cold cookie dough. It's a great idea. Terrible for your health. But I was sitting there and I told my wife, I got to go talk to the guy running this thing. Cookie Doughopolis or dough. It was something dumb. I said, the name of this place is so obvious. Shit's going to kill you. It should be called What a Way to Dough.
Oh, yeah. That's a good one.
What a Way to Dough.
Or that's Dojo.
Right.
Fucking dojo.
They got a big fat sumo for their guy, the dojo.
Yeah, big fat dude.
Yeah.
But yeah, what a way to dough.
It's like, did you hear what happened to John? One. Fucking cookies and cream got him.
Got him.
Hey,
what a way to go. What a way to dough.
It's the way he wanted to go. He died doing what he loved.
But he had the cookie dough around his dick when they found him. But anyway.
That was weird. I'll admit that was weird.
That was. But he's gone.
I remember Adam Carolla saying he had an idea for a business where the moment someone dies, him and his crew run to their house and get rid of all their sex toys and porno and all that.
Yeah, just
throw it away.
Clean their history, search history, all that shit. You got to get there quick.
I had a friend in college who was from the sticks, farm boy, and he didn't know much about computers. And he said his girlfriend got mad at him because he was looking at girls on the internet. I said, you can erase your history on your browser. You don't have to keep everything you've been looking at. And I told him how to do it. Like you go here and you erase history, blah, blah, blah. A week later, my phone rings. I look at it and it's him. Well, yeah, what's up? This is my buddy from college and we work together at Home Depot. He's like, hey, you remember that thing you showed me on the computer? Can you tell me how to do that again?
Can you tell me that one more time?
And I'm just thinking like, first of all, I'll tell you, but pull your pants up, please. Make sure your pants are not around your ankles right now. So it must have been a very humbling phone call for him to make.
But he made it.
He did.
He made it.
He did.
Shout out to him.
Shout out to, I won't say his name because why say Luke's name on the air? Who knows?
Oh, Gabe. You did it.
You know how many Lukes there are in the world? Come on.
Rhymes with puke.
So anyway, 50s Doc and 80s Marty are going to send 80s Marty back to 1880s.
1885.
Right, 1880s Doc to save him from getting killed by Mad Dog. What's a Mad Dog? What the hell is his name?
Mad Dog Tannen.
Mad Dog Tannen, that's right. So I love the rhinestone cowboy outfit that he's got him in here. It's a little too flashy.
Hey.
And, yeah. So they had to repair the DeLorean, had a leak in the fuel tank, blah, 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 right? Or does that happen in the 1800s? I don't remember. They had to do some stuff. They're going to get it up to 88 miles an hour, and he's going to go back, and he drives. Do you see to the left of Doc Brown, there's a painting of some Native American fellows on horseback coming right at you. And he's going to drive right into those. And when he travels back, 70 years back in time, he comes out right in front of real Native Americans in real life and almost runs them over with the car.
Can you believe that? That was only 70 years in the past in 1955.
It is weird to think from the invention of what was the Ford Model T, like 1903 or something, right? Something like that.
Yeah.
Then we're allegedly on the moon in 1969. That's crazy.
Depends on who you ask.
Yeah, it depends. I hate the flat earth stuff, but I love it at the same time because it's so stupid. It's so dumb, but it's entertaining. I have to admit, on Twitter, I follow a few schizo accounts that have all the conspiracy theories and all the weird shit, not because I believe them, because I find it fascinating to know that there are people out there that believe this stuff.
It's just fun to watch.
It is. It is insane. So, but the flat earth thing is never going to fly because, and I'll tell you why. Here's your proof. You, everyone watching this, me, Jericho, you can go learn the calculus that takes into account the global shape of the Earth, the spin, the rotation, the orbit around the sun, the global shape of the other planets and the stuff in all the sky, and predict where they're going to be a week, a month, a year, a decade from now. Then you can go outside with your binoculars and lo and behold, 3 months from now, see where Mars is going to be. Now, how would it be a scam if you're the one with the pencil and paper doing the calculus and the math? You tricked yourself? You're in on the conspiracy, but you don't know it? Like, I don't know. It's like, that's such an obvious one to me. I don't know.
Self-conspiracy.
I remember this guy, he was trying to prove the Earth was flat. So he like drilled holes in some boards and shined like a high-powered flashlight through it. This is at night, like, I don't know, half a mile or something. If the Earth was really flat, then the light would not go through the second or third board. And his friend's down on the other end shining the light, and he's going to capture it at night. So they get the experiment, they do everything, they set it up, and he's looking in the hole, and he's like, I can't see the light. Did you turn it on yet? And the guy's like, yeah, I've got it on. I'm shining it through the hole. And he proved to himself the Earth was, in fact, not flat.
Damn it.
But you got to see him in the video. He's like, oh, something's got to be wrong. Can you raise the light a little bit? And then the guy raises the flashlight, and then he can see it go. So you know what he shouldn't have done? His key mistake there was he filmed himself embarrassing himself.
Fucking flat earthers.
Because all of us have embarrassed ourselves, but we don't film it. Don't film it.
Don't film your embarrassments, kids. All right.
Oh, look at this, Captain Elizabeth Warren cameo.
The squaw with diarrhea. I call her Jokahontas. Stupid ass bitch. Never
Today
shared
on
that video where she told her husband, "Hey, you want a beer?" Like,
Oh.
you never said beer in your life.
That's the most unnatural thing ever. Hey, honey. Hey, life partner. Would you like?
Hey, lover. You want a beer? Yeah, get the fuck away from me. That would be hilarious.
Oh, it's like she's from another planet. Like, this is what a human would say.
I wish she did belong to another planet.
Oh.
She doesn't.
Today on Maury, my man fooled me, him into flat Earth. My me fooled me? I don't know. You got a typo. You killed your joke with the
No, he said my me because the guy fooled himself on that. Video.
Oh,
on that.
I killed your joke by not understanding your writing. Sorry. My me fooled me, him into flat Earth. There you go.
Me, him. Get the pronouns right. Actually, my pronouns are me, him.
Actually.
Upspeak.
Okay, so Marty, 1980s Marty, is back in the 1800s with 1800s Doc.
Yeah.
And then, so who was the Marty that left the 50s back to the 80s? Where's that Marty then? I guess he's in the 80s.
Yeah, I guess he's in the 80s now with Elizabeth Shue.
Oh, if 80s Marty finds out 50s Marty's with his girlfriend.
What you gonna do, chicken?
Right. What's this outfit that Doc Brown put him in?
Yeah, I mean, come on. That's you had to get a better outfit than that. I mean,
he's one of the village people, you know.
You've never seen a cowboy in one of those sepia tone pictures wearing that.
I said, young man. Right.
Jeez, man, that was a bad one. But
it's
still,
fun to stay at the YMCA.
I'm not sending my kids to the YMCA with those fucking weirdos.
Now, culture was different when those guys were hot. Those guys were hot like mid 70s, right? And people were not.
Yeah, I think
out.
post disco.
Right. So those people were not out like gay like they are now. But there's no way people didn't know those dudes were gay, right?
There was a bit that Bill Burr had, and he said he grew up listening to Queen, and he had no idea that they were gay, even though they were singing opera.
They didn't do anything crazy flamboyant, do you think? I think Queen was just...
I think some of Freddie Mercury's outfits were a bit questionable. Then he did die of AIDS, so that didn't help. The old school AIDS when he used to kill you, not this new shit you can fucking go to work with.
I don't know, Gabe. I feel like Clint Eastwood wore this and Unforgiven. That's true.
That's why he was Unforgiven.
The Criterion Collection, the deleted scene.
Outfit.
There's that scene where he does the stage show in this outfit. He does sing and dance.
I'm glad they cut that out of the movie. Thank you, Clint Eastwood. And that's
Uh,
cool that he picked that name when they asked him what his name was. He's like Clint Eastwood, the best cowboy in a movie ever. Don't argue.
Okay, so he goes back in time. The DeLorean's in the cave, gets shot by one of the natives. That destroys the gas tank. Okay, so that's when the gas tank got destroyed. And he gets knocked out by some farmers, right? And they're going to take him in to take care of him, kind of.
Yeah, he falls back, hits his head. Now, I guess his body hit it, but if your head knocked that fence down, I don't think Marty's going to be waking up. And if he does, Marty's gonna be different.
Talking like that. Never underestimate the power of the handicap.
Take me to Doc Brown. He's from the future. Okay, buddy, come here.
Okay, buddy. Yeah, we'll take you to Doc Brown.
Yeah, they take him out like fucking Lenny from Mice and Men. Tell
and
me
then
about
we get
the rabbits, George.
those fun scenes where they have the actors, Leah Thompson, right? She's playing Ma here, and then he's playing Pa, Michael J. Fox. I think that's fun how they do that. Although
with the Irish accents, because
right,
you know that's when they
right,
when they arrived here.
Right, the McFlies.
And he fucking eats the rabbit, and he's like spitting out pellets because he shot it with a shotgun. Oh man, good shit. And everybody's
so
looking
then,
at him like,
then Jazz Hands McFly wanders into town looking for Doc, and he meets some ruffians, and they're shooting at him, right? They're making him dance by shooting his feet and stuff.
And a big old pile of shit.
Love
it.
Yeah, so he runs into Mad Dog Tannen, and it's not going to be good. Now I don't remember here. There was a thing that. Mad Dog Tannen kills Doc Brown because what? Doc Brown owes him some money, or what was the
something to do with a horse. Like, Doc Brown is a blacksmith. He like shoot his horse, and then his horse broke its leg or some shit like that. So Doc owes him money for the horse.
Right. So he's going to collect the money in 2 days, or he's going to kill Doc Brown. And Marty is here in his flashiest outfit that he could find to stop that from happening.
And back then, I liked that. Back then, like you could kill somebody for that. You know, you basically what would be the equivalent today of stealing somebody's car. If you stole somebody's horse, they fucking kill you.
I've always found that crazy.
Rightfully so.
You would get hung for stealing a horse. That's crazy.
Because it's such a part of life. You needed it.
Right.
You needed it for transportation. Maybe you needed it, on your farm or something. Like, yeah, that was part of your life. That's how you got around and stayed alive back then. Because that was harsh living. So yeah, you steal somebody's horse, it's a wrap, dude. You get fucked up.
I run this town. I'm Mad Dog Tannen, and these are the naughty boys.
But this Mad Dog Tannen wasn't a pervert.
No,
like
the dress flipper, that guy.
Yeah, going grabbing chicks on the sidewalk. Yeah. What's up, Rolo?
Welcome, Rolo. Love the luchador in the suit there. He's all business.
Rolo for show though.
That's right. Fun fact 420, somebody's smoking. Michael J. Fox got his signature shakes. What are you saying here? From hitting his head in this very film.
One of the funniest pictures I've ever seen. It's right up there. It's right up there with the
that was
the
terrible,
picture of
that comment. I just disavow that.
It's I reavow it. That shit was funny.
I disavow. Awful.
One of the funniest pictures I ever seen, and it's right up there with the guy with the Neapolitan ice cream, and he has two fingers in the strawberry and one finger in the chocolate.
Right.
But it was a picture of Michael J. Fox, Christopher Lloyd, and Leah Thompson, and they took a picture and they're smiling, but Michael J. Fox is all blurry. That shit was so.
Is it a real picture?
Funny.
Or
No, it's been photoshopped it, but internet, you won that one. That shit was
yeah,
Michael
I
J.
guess steal a horse, and you get hung.
Yeah, and it was okay. Everybody's like, "Oh, you sold a horse? Yeah, kill him, kill that motherfucker."
Yeah, they would hang someone in the center of town, the sheriff, and the people would come and watch like it was entertainment.
It was an event. They would have vendors and stuff, and people would bring their families to show your kids, "Hey, you're a piece of shit. You'll be swinging."
Right. Yeah. So Biff and his guys, Biff and the Naughty Boys, they get into a scuffle with Jazz Hands McFly over here in his flashy outfit.
Hey, yeehaw!
Hey. What do homosexual horses eat, Jericho?
Hey.
That's such a middle school joke.
One of my favorite jokes ever.
Let's see. And then as he's about to be either killed or hurt badly by the Naughty Boys.
Definitely killed. Definitely killed.
By the Naughty Boys. Steampunk no scope sniper rifle here, Doc Brown, saves the day.
Shoots the rope.
That's right.
You know how hard that is to do?
That's where the term hung like a horse comes from. Okay, Captain Erno. I'm going to need you to slow down.
Keep him coming, Captain.
He shoots the rope, not unlike Clint Eastwood saving Eli Wallach in The Good, the Bad, the Ugly. Remember, he shoots the rope. Yeah,
that's right.
Did you know that Eli Wallach is not a Mexicano? Did you know that?
No, there were a lot of colored actors back then.
Right. that Eli Wallach was a Jew of let's see. Eli
boys.
Herschel Wallach. He was I don't know if he was Hungarian Jew or Russian Jew or what, but he did a convincing job of a Chicano.
Mhm.
Let's see. Polish Jewish immigrants Abraham and Bertha Shore Wallach from Przemysl in Poland. So yes, even though he played the ugly, he was in fact a Jew and not a Chicano, not a Mexican. So there you go. It's a great movie. We'll have to review it on the 7-hour episode of this show
Yes.
because that is a long movie and a fantastic movie.
Yes.
Let's see. So he has the newspaper clipping that Doc Brown is killed over the $80 for the horse, I guess. And let's see.
A lot of money back then.
Right. And I guess there's a Clara that was involved, and that's the woman he's going to meet soon. He goes over to Doc Brown's. This is kind of a funny scene. He has this gadget, this machine that's the size of his entire research barn, and he pushes it and smoke and sparks and this all this steampunk technology, and eventually a piece of ice comes out and goes into his beer or his iced tea or whatever the hell he's drinking. I thought that was just very much a childlike thing. It was very cute, kind of funny moment, very playful kind of thing. So I'm a little lost though. So this Doc Brown in the Cowboy Days knows the score. He knows what's going on with everything because he's from the future and all that. And he can't get any of the stuff to work, and he wants to live back in time. But Marty's telling him that Biff, Mad Dog Tannen, is going to kill him. So we've got to get out of here, and we got to get Marty back to the future, at least if Doc Brown doesn't want to go. But Doc Brown, I think, is at this point, he's ready to go because he hasn't fallen in love with Clara yet, right? He hasn't run into her yet.
No. And for shits and giggles, $80 in 1885 would be the same as $2,500 today.
Not bad. Not bad at all.
It's a chunk of change.
What is a Chicano? I'm unsure of the precise definition. I'm just using it as a placeholder for Mexican. I think a Chicano would be like an American of Latino descent, I believe, but I don't know. So actually, Eli Wallach's character couldn't be a Chicano because he's a Mexican citizen. So there you go. The more you know. But it's a fun word, Chicano. So what are they doing out here? Aren't they? What are they trying to figure out at this point? Because I don't remember. They're trying to figure out where they can get up to 88 miles an hour.
Yeah, the train. Right? Yeah. They're trying to figure out how they're going to have the distance to get up to 88 miles an hour. So they figure train.
Right. So they're going to have to use the train to push or tow the DeLorean to get it up to speed so they can hit that 88 miles an hour and then get back to the future. And back, like you said, Back to the Future is said a lot in this movie.
Man.
I'm
telling you, if that's what gets you up, that's what you're going to say it, Back to the Future.
Right.
Then you're going to love this.
That can work in movies when they say the name of the movie in the movie, or it can be corny. And I remember the first time that crossed my mind as a kid, I was like in 3rd or 4th grade. I was thinking about The Empire Strikes Back, and I made up a scene in my head that was corny where Lando ends up telling Han Solo, it's because the Empire struck back. I was like, oh, that's terrible. You wouldn't say that about Darth Vader. Come on, that's lame. He's like, he says, the Empire struck back, and then he looks into the camera.
No, don't do
For like a 2 beat, he just stares into the camera.
Don't do it, Billy D.
What about this? Black to the Future. What would that movie be, Jerk?
Man.
I'll let you handle this one.
Hey, it's my $80, motherfucker. Hey, speaking of, there were no black folks in this movie.
Oh, that's true.
Not a one.
How could there not be black people in the year is this? Is like 1880.
1885.
Right?
Yeah.
Slavery had ended, and many of our black brothers and sisters got the hell out of the South and became cowboys out west because it was free and it was open. They could make their own way. In fact, the greatest bounty hunter of all time was not a white man. Was a black man named Bass Reeves.
Bass Reeves. There's a show about that too, but I'm afraid
there's a comic book I did about that is still not published, and I want it to be published because it's beautiful. Written by Kevin Grievous, the creator of Underworld movies. But a lot of black guys did and women went out west because slavery had ended, and they could go out and stake a new fortune out west. And we're not social justice warriors, but it is glaring that is missing from a lot of history, cowboy history.
Yeah, but there is, like I said, there's a Bass Reeves show, but I'm afraid to watch it.
Well, it's got Isaiah Washington in it, right? And he's based. He's a Christian guy.
Yeah, he got in a little bit of trouble back in the day,
for being based. By the way,
drop that F word on him.
So, Broke Back to the Future.
Oof.
If you had to watch a completely Disney Plus social justice, completely blown away with social justice, called Broke Back to the Future or Black to the Future, which would you watch? And it's the worst rainbow-haired, all lives matter or a Black Lives Matter, just kind of nonsense. What would you?
No, it'd have to be Black to the Future because I couldn't watch no Brokeback shit.
Okay.
That's no.
Black to the Future.
That grosses me the fuck out. I can't.
We gotta go back, Marty. We gotta go back and save grape soda.
We got to go back and invent Newport cigarettes. Great Scotch. We got to go save sweet black titties and ass, Marty. Doc.
Marty, you don't understand. Pam Grier is in danger, and she's absolutely a stone cold fox.
The dents on this lady, Marty. Great Scots, big nipples, Marty.
Pam Grier, gorgeous.
I'm telling you. Big old titties. That reminds me of David Allen Greer was on this podcast and he was talking about doing some plays and stuff with Christopher Walken back in the day. And Christopher Walken was reading, he was studying the script very intently. And when they called it was his part, he sat it down and David Allen Greer looked and he had a magazine inside of it. It said big black titties and ass. So he wasn't even reading the script. The classic, you think it's one thing on the outside and it was a porno mag. I was like, hey man, shout out to you. Christopher Walken. That's
funny. That's just like Biff with his Ooh La La magazine inside the sports hall.
Yep, same thing. Crack to the Future. I wouldn't want to watch that because
you wouldn't want to Crack to the Future.
A lot of dick sucking in there. I don't want to see that.
Oh, I thought they meant like crack cocaine to the future.
Yeah, that's what I mean. And that's what people do for crack.
Oh,
that's
penises
true. In their mouth.
I've never partaken of crack.
I'll have to take
your word for it.
Yeah. I'm not smoking anything that makes me want to suck a dick.
Marty, I've invented the menthol cigarette.
Tastes like mint, Marty. That's fucked up. That's enough. Comment section. That's enough.
In the free state of communist California, they've outlawed flavored cigarette and tobacco here.
Because that's what it was. That's what was getting people hooked. It was flavor.
That was the problem.
Fucking idiots.
So stupid.
Let people destroy themselves. If that's what you want to do, let them. Fucking A. As long as they don't do anything to me, let them fucking kill themselves.
So anyway, they got this plan to drive the train off of a bridge into a gulch. And the gulch has one name in the future, the future 85. But here it has a different name. And the name it has where Marty comes from is Clara, the romantic interest of Doc Brown. It has her name, right?
Yeah.
Her name is the name of it in the real reality, not this alternate reality. So when they're doing a little bit of their testing, experimenting around, trying to figure out how to use the train, a woman gets loose on a horse and has to be saved. The horse is gonna take her buggy down to the canyon. She's gonna be dead. She's gonna be dead. And Doc Brown saves her. And all of a sudden, he gets a little twinkle in his eye. And he feels things he has not felt since he was 17 or 18 years old. When he became celibate, just being a scientist. So
not anymore.
Yeah.
Not anymore.
I got to get back to the booty. That's where he is now.
Back to the puss, Marty. It's wet and it's warm.
I forgot about this. This is great.
Yeah. I'll travel through time for that. Yeah.
Pussy so good got me traveling through time.
Got me traveling through dimensions. Hey, and I guarantee you, if you told a man, hey man, you got to get in this time machine to get some pussy. He's like, right when you finish saying, he's already inside.
You'd be in there locking the door, be like, how's this send work?
Well, you're already in there? Yeah, what was this button do?
So no, get it. I heard you.
I have no problem. Strap me in and get me to
Back to the Future.
Yeah, I want to see that one.
There you go.
I told you, Captain Haruno, keep it coming.
Yeah, no, Captain Haruno, I gotta give you your props on that one.
Yep. Oh, you got the dance hall horn.
That's
you
right.
Made it.
There you go. Baby got Back to the Future. There you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
There we go.
Every time this song comes up, I have to give my public service announcement to women everywhere. This song is probably not about you. When you at the club or the bar and that song comes up, Baby Got Back, and you all start vibrating and giggling, I just want to tell most of you the song is not about you. That's all I'm saying. I'm not trying to be mean. I just give it to you straight. I just give it to you straight, guys.
I like big butts, and I cannot lie. What a great song.
Yeah.
When a girl walks in with an itty bitty waist and a round thing in your face.
And it doesn't even matter what the round thing is. Could have been anything. Watermelon, pie, her butt, anything.
You know what he meant.
He probably meant butt, though. I'm assuming that's what he meant.
My homeboys try to warn me, but you got made me so horny.
That's me. He's about me. Oh my god.
Oh my god. You guys are on fire tonight.
It's about the big bubble bottoms. What did Queen say? Fat bottom girls make the loving world go round.
Yeah,
which is interesting.
And shade in the summer.
Which is interesting coming from Freddie Mercury. So
he did have a thing for butts, just didn't belong to the ladies.
I would tell Freddie Mercury, who might be the greatest singer of all time with his 8-octave voice.
Yeah.
I would tell him about his Fat Bottom Girl song. As true as the song is, how would you know, Freddie?
Yeah.
How would you know?
You don't know. And also his bandmates, I guess you would call them, because they were singing some serious backup, especially in the Bohemian Rhapsody and stuff. Like, they were coming with it. All those dudes could sing. Anyway, so this is how he finds Clara. And it's definitely a love at first sight kind of thing. He did save her life. That usually gets him a little moist.
Right.
And then you know, look at the house, little picket fence. It was so quaint. And one thing they did in all three of these movies, the costumes, the set, and everything was right on point.
Yeah.
And it almost had that movie set kind of look to it, but it worked.
This is Steven Spielberg, right? I mean, you know, it's directed by Robert Zemeckis, right? And written by Bob Gale, but it's Steven Spielberg produced and all. So this is your high level quality Hollywood films of the 80s. You know? It doesn't get much bigger than that. So, but yeah, that's the thing. We take these movies for granted in their quality. You know, the stories are great, the acting is great, but just the quality, the way it's filmed, the way it's lit, the way the sound design, the set design, it's just like, it's so good you don't even notice. You just accept it as real. They're like, no, this is real. They time traveled to cowboy days. It totally feels real. Makes sense. You know, so. And
this is kind of what I was saying earlier, how in this movie, Doc kind of takes center stage in the movie. He's kind of the main character, him and his whole love story with Clara.
I do think that's what makes people like it, or these two things. That it does not take place in the 80s and the 50s like the other two, and that it doesn't feature Marty and Biff as the main characters, that it features Doc as the main character. And then Marty's kind of his sidekick, helping Doc's story, his love story with Clara, that ends up being the main story, you know. So, and I think that's what throws people off, that it's just as good in the quality, but it's not what they were served before, you know. So.
Yeah, it's not about Marty's family and all that stuff like the first two. It's definitely about Doc and Marty, but more Doc. And so they're figuring out how they're going to, you know, rig it so they can get the car up to speed. So because, you know, back then there wasn't shit traveling at 88 miles an hour. Trains, that was about the fastest thing on earth was a train. And those were not doing 88 miles an hour with the steam power, you know, with the wood fire a stove or oven, whatever you want to call it. So they had to figure it out, and that was cool the way this is written to how they figured that out. But that's basically what they're doing. They're in the Doc's huge barn with everything he needs to get back to 1985.
Right. And Clara and Doc, their romance is this burgeoning romance, and it starts because he saves her. Their personalities kind of mesh, but she's a nerd too. And she's into what author is it H.G. Wells? That she's into some fantasy author from that. It wasn't H.G. Wells. It was
wasn't Hemingway. It was Julius Verne.
Yeah, Jules Verne, the French
the
French science fiction author. 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea, The Time Machine. I believe that's who wrote all that. Was Jules Verne, a famous French author, and she's totally into it. And he said that he read all of his books, and then that kind of throws her off because she's like, What do you mean you read it when you were in middle school?
Yeah.
The book came out last year or something.
Yeah, 10 years ago. He's like,
Right.
oh, well, it made me feel like a boy.
Right.
But this clip, this screen grab out here, looks like he's saying, no, Clara, I swear, my dick is this big. And Marty's behind her like, it is, Clara. She's like, what's that big?
He's all, no, I opened the bathroom without knocking one time, Clara. It was
the thing was swinging. It cast a shadow. Oh,
yeah.
cool.
Scott Gelino, who loves creamy peanut butter, by the way. TBH, I've never realized that about the movie. I never noticed because it was still entertaining and written well. I wonder what aspect he's talking about, that it was focusing on Doc instead of Marty and all that.
Mhm.
Yeah,
I think so.
that we're gonna go with that's what you were saying. None the Miser jumped in to tell us it was Jules Verne. Thank you, sir.
None of the mice always got the answers.
Fat Bottom Girls to the Future. I'd watch that.
I sure would twice.
Yeah.
But-
It's Dick Brown.
I swear, it's big, Marty. He's all right now. He's like, what? That's gonna hurt.
Great Scott.
That's why he says that. Great Scots. Look at this thing.
Oh, I call him Scott. That's what I nicknamed him.
It's big enough. It deserves its own name.
Yeah, he's Great Scott. What did you think I meant?
Look, give me your hand. You're like, ooh. That's bad.
Goodness.
So this is like the big shindig, the town celebration, the party that they're having. I guess they completed, or they're for building that clock tower
Right.
back there. There's a giant clock they're going to put there.
That's the clock that's going to be at the town square in the 50s that they have to hit with the lightning and all that.
Mhm.
So Doc Brown, and there's a historical photo later that shows Doc Brown has built that clock. And and the romance grows. That
Mhm.
they talk. I think they do a little dancing. There's like carnival games, and then Marty, just like in part 2, he's playing an arcade game where he's a cowboy shooting cowboys in an arcade cabinet in that 80s cafe in part 2. And here in real life, he's shooting like those metal targets, and it's like Bandito cowboys or whatever.
Mhm.
Give me 1 second, Jericho. Let me refill the water so I can clear my throat here. So
Only 1 second.
just pontificate or bloviate for a minute. I'll be right back.
Ooh, bloviate. So yeah, he's nailing the targets and stuff, just like he did in, like Gabe mentioned, in the in part 2 in that arcade where he had the game from the 80s that he knew well because that's where he was from. And everybody's like, oh shit, this kid, little Billy the Kid action going on here. And then of course, Biff or Mad Dog, he shows up and kind of fucks everything up. But he's still like the town menace, again, not as perverted as he was in the first one, flipping up skirts and grabbing chicks by the face on the sidewalk. But he's still an asshole. That asshole, it shows through all generations in his family. Right. Yeah, there he is right there. But there's a marshal in town who ain't taking no shit off of Mad Dog, and it's of course played by Mr. Strickland, his character. So that's his ancestor. But he's like again the no nonsense, ain't taking no shit, rough and gruff marshal. Team Cream Scream.
Yeah. Well, you know what?
Team Cream Scream.
I've had about enough of that. So I'm going
I
to do
haven't.
something about it. Okay.
I haven't.
I have. Okay. I'm going to bring in a good friend of mine and yours. We're going to ask him what he would do if someone brought that weak ass creamy peanut butter into his kitchen. You know him. You love him. None other than the Florida legend himself, the great Terry Bollea, also known as Hulk Hogan of Possumania. How you doing, Hulkster?
I'm doing great, brother.
Now, you're a tough guy. I mean, you're as tough as they come. Some would say a tough son bitch.
Yep.
Now, where do you fall on the creamy, like Team Cream, really? Creamy peanut butter or crunchy like a man? Where do you fall on that?
Well, first of all, brother, I serve that marinara sauce on my pasta, brother. But when I was throwing around ideas for my restaurant, Pasta Mania, brother, I was toying around with the idea to put peanut butter on that rigatoni, brother. And I thought about it. Is it going to be creamy, brother? Is it going to be chunky, brother? Right. And one of my assistants came in and said, Hulkster, as you ride around on that red and yellow Harley, brother, you're thinking about all that peanut butter spread, brother. You should have it chunky, brother.
That's right. That's right. I knew I could count on you, Hulkster.
But I grabbed that son of a bitch by his neck, brother, and I slammed him down and leg dropped that piece of shit till chunky peanut butter came out of his ears, brother. I don't play that shit over here, brother. It's Team Cream, brother.
No, are you kidding me?
I don't lie, brother.
Oh, I know you don't lie. I can't believe you're Team Cream.
Believe it, brother. I love that creamy peanut, brother. When I get a lady, brother, I lay her down. I rub that creamy peanut treat all over her body, brother.
Is this why you and the Iron Sheik had that fight where he beat you and he forced you to eat the chunky peanut butter sandwich? Is this why that happened?
I never forgave him for that, brother. I said team cream, brother. But back to those ladies I rub that peanut butter on, brother. One spot I don't rub it on, brother, is that vagina, brother, because it needs no accoutrement.
Oh, Skynut peanut butter, bouillabaisse peanut butter. It's just all creamy peanut butter. Well, you got a
Two
lot of
different
fans.
kinds, brother. I mix that nice bouillabaisse with that creamy peanut butter, brother. It gets me off, brother.
Now, did Steven? Now I heard you and Steven Seagal. You made up. You stopped the feuding, and he came over and he showed you the family recipe for his bouillabaisse, and you're going to be featuring that on the menu now. Is this true? Speaking
It
of
is, brother. You know that secret ingredient for that sweet, sweet bouillabaisse, brother? It's a tablespoon of creamy peanut butter,
oh
brother.
my God!
Believe it, brother.
Don't tell me now. Someone told me this, and I don't believe it because I don't think the Hulkster would ever do this. Someone told me that golden tan and that smooth skin you have, that you rub a little bit of creamy peanut butter on yourself at night before you go to bed. Tell me that's not true, Hulkster.
It is true, brother. That's how I get this nice orange complexion, brother. How weird would it look with little pieces of peanut butter on my skin, brother? I don't like it, brother. But you know what? Don't rub that peanut butter spread on my body, brother.
Okay, so you sleep covered in peanut butter. This is terrible. You must go through so many sheets and blankets. How do you get the peanut butter off of the money? It's kind of dried up. It's flaking on you. How do you get it all off?
Who says I get it off, brother? I'd leave it there, but I don't put any on this big old Hulk Hogan shaft, brother. No peanut butter needed on that thing, brother.
Oh, my goodness. Well, Hulk Hogan, you're our number one sponsor. I still love you. I'm a little shocked. I got to say, I'm a little shocked about the creamy peanut butter, but maybe you got me curious about joining Team Cream myself. I don't know. Anything could happen, man.
Do it, brother. Why eat that chunky bullshit, brother? It's all about that Team Cream, brother.
All right. Is there anything you want to plug before you go, or are you going to get out of here, get back to the kitchen?
Pasta Mania, brother. Come on down here. Get a free bowl of spaghetti on your first visit, brother. And for dessert, a creamy peanut butter sandwich, brother.
All right. The great Hulk Hogan, everyone. Thank you. Oh,
you know what? I have my garage door open, so my neighbors are like, what the fuck is going on over there?
They're going to call for a welfare check from the mental health hospital.
Fucking sheriff's going to be knocking on my front door. Are you all right? Blink twice if you need help, sir. Every Wednesday, we hear it coming from his garage.
Look at this. I thought Pasta Mania was a family restaurant. This is why it's superior. No, you know what? I guess I lose the creamy versus chunky peanut butter battle. I guess I'll just have to walk.
You just realized that.
On my own chunky drum, you know.
Yeah. Take your chunky peanut butter and go home.
Pasta Mania. We should have asked him what he could do if he could time travel. Oh, look at this. Look at the counter. He's like, get creamed, Gabe. How dare you? How dare you?
You better cream it up, buddy.
But they want the bouillabaisse peanut butter. We're gonna have to get the recipe.
He says bouillabaisse peanut butter.
Yeah,
no boys in that.
Team Cream for sure. I can't stand what's happening, but you know, I'm a man. I'll just face the truth. Take it like a man. I'll take that creamy peanut butter like a man. Oh, terrible. But I still love the Hulkster.
He's a good man.
Even though he's a cream lover. Okay.
He's a good man. He's a good businessman.
Yeah.
Family man, all around.
Look at this. Take your chunky peanut. You got to say it in the Van Damme double impact accent. Take your black silk underwear and go back to Disneyland. It says, take your chunky peanut butter and your grape nuts and go back to Disneyland.
And go back to your home. Agreed. And that's coming from a new father.
I unironically want to make a Pasta Mania commercial. Been wanting to do it for a while. Yeah, I think we'll try to find a way, because I know it's out there. We can feed this in the AI so it'll animate when we talk or whatever.
Yeah.
We could get it to move around, or we could make something hilarious. We just have to find the correct AI software to do it. But I know it exists because
he's kind of come on down. You can see the front of the restaurant. Right. Maybe a little tour through there. What's that print called? The checkered red and white tablecloth.
Like a gingham.
Yeah, gingham. Yeah, the gingham tablecloth. Yeah, I think we can really make something special with that.
Yeah, we'll have to read. If anyone in the chat knows the AI where you can replace people, like you are in it, and then you just put the Hulk Hogan over you. Right now, they have that rapper Little Yachty, and he's coming out on stage at like Coachella or some couple years ago, and they keep putting Elon Musk and different people over it, and it's hilarious. And it will do like a 3D skin on top of it. So we can figure this out. I know we can.
Yeah. If Hulkster is kind enough, if he can pull himself away to do the voiceover, that'd be nice.
Well, I would love to meet Hulk Hogan. And I am friends with Tyrus, former pro wrestler. I am friends with him. But I don't want to ask him, Tyrus, hey, can you introduce me to Hulk Hogan? Because I'm not friends like that with Tyrus. Like, I'm friendly with him, and we do talk a little bit. And I'm going to be on his show next week. His new show on the Outkick Network, Clay and Buck.
Clay Travis, yeah.
Clay Travis. Tyrus has a new show called Maintain, and I'm going to be like the hour-long guest on Wednesday next week. I don't know when it'll broadcast. It's a recording we're doing next week. But yeah, I'm going to be on Tyrus's show. It's going to be awesome.
That's fucking cool. And I've met Hulk Hogan. He's a great dude, man.
Yeah.
Really nice guy.
I would hope if Hulk Hogan ever saw the comedy we do with him, he knows we love him. He's got to understand we're 80s kids.
Sure.
We love the Hulk show. It's all in love.
That's why he's here. That's why he's our one and only sponsor.
Look, Captain Haruna wants to write a script for the Hulk Hogan bit. He's been improvising it for a month. That's awesome.
Dude, and I don't know. I don't know if we can say that Hulk Hogan is the one and only sponsor, because we also have dealings, if you will, with St. Bernard Sanders law firm.
Oh, that's right. Right.
I think now we have 2 sponsors.
Right. Yeah, we'll have to check in on St. Bernard Sanders later. Because
that fucking guy.
Yeah, I don't think we're halfway through this thing yet.
That dog, that guy.
All right, let's go into a lightning round and try and move this thing along. Yeah, I think you remember better than me. So would you please push us forward with your mighty strength?
Well, yeah, this is his family again. Remember he was eating the rabbit with the buckshots in it, and everybody's kind of in town for this. Everybody's dressed up and stuff. He has his little suit and his I guess you call it a derby. I guess
a bowler derby. I don't know.
Yeah, he's just kind of shooting the shit with them, and it's just kind of bouncing around the party, showing different people. I guess in the next one they're dancing, doing the line dance. Oh, there's a black person.
Where?
Right, that lady. I think.
Okay. Oh, there you go. She got the grape. She got the grape drink in her hand and everything, man. Crazy.
Yeah, menthol in her mouth. Yeah. So
I don't have time today.
Ain't got no time for that. But yeah, everybody. It's just kind of the bouncing around the party and stuff. Mad Dog's already gotten in trouble with the marshal for being an asshole because that big sign behind him said, "Please check your firearms."
Right.
So you can't come in here start no shit. You filthy. He looks like a black person. Jeez. Filthy bastard.
He's not in blackface, but he is in filthy face.
He's dirt face. Yeah, he's real pig pin.
Yeah. I gotta say, I was telling you before we went on the air, the makeup that they put on this F. Thomas Wilson makes him unrecognizable as the actor, but it's great makeup. He looks exactly how you imagine a mean, the tough son of a bitch, like outlaw. He looks exactly like what you would imagine, but it just doesn't look like Biff at
all. Just a dirty motherfucker.
Yeah. Yeah, this guy looks like he showers once a month, whether he needs it or not.
If that.
You're right. Ugh.
He probably just waits for a good rain. And that's it. That's his cleaning up. And so, yeah, Biff's basically telling him, you owe me my money, you son of a bitch. And if you don't, I'm going to kill you.
Right.
And he's like, man, I'm over here trying to talk to my lady. Come on, Mad Dog. But Mad Dog's not letting go like a mad dog.
Right.
He's not letting go of that bone, so to speak. And he's like, dude, if you don't have my money by, a couple of days or something, I'm going to kill you, you son of a bitch. I'm going to kill you. And he has his little gang in the back, his little group.
The naughty boys.
Yeah, get him. Get him, boys. Those guys. And so, is shit going to go down here or not? And thankfully it doesn't, because that would kind of ruin the movie. And then they sneak off, and he's like showing her the stars and stuff and through his telescope that he made. And she's falling more and more in love. She's more and more enamored with him and his beautiful mind, not his beautiful face, but his beautiful mind. And like you mentioned, he's a nerd just like her.
Right. They're both intellectuals, and that they really hit it off with that. They love reading. I think she's a school teacher, right?
Mm-hmm.
And she's into this. He's a scientist. And I think she does scientific stuff too. I think she teaches science, but she's way into Jules Verne, as we said earlier, the French science fiction author. So yeah, they really have this cute little romance. And that's what prompted me to write at the top of the show. The poll question was, if you were on a first date with someone and they had lettuce in their teeth, what would you do? I was just kind of thinking about the butterflies and the excitement of when you, I mean, this is eons ago for me because I've been married for 28 years almost. But I can vaguely remember what that was like when you first start dating someone and they're all you can think of and you just want to call them. And you have to remember, in Grandpa Gabe's days, we didn't have the internet or social media. The internet existed, but only the dorkiest of the dorks had it, and the military and university professors used it. Regular people did not use the internet really until the late 90s. Like, you could get it like in 1995, 96, but most people still didn't have it then. But the internet seemed to blow up 98, 99. Then pretty much everyone was getting it then.
Yeah,
You know?
everybody didn't have a computer in their house or a laptop.
Right.
It wasn't like that. I remember watching a TV show in 95, and one of the characters had a laptop, and it was like, oh shit, she was like working at home and doing shit on the computer, and it was like, whoa. But the bottom of it was like 3 inches thick.
Right.
Like, it was still, you know, you could still beat somebody to death with a fucking laptop back then. It was this big monstrosity.
Captain Hirono, and this was the pickup line Captain Hirono used to get with his lady friend. Girl, are you a teacher? Because I want to study that booty.
Study that rump, girl.
Yeah.
You see the rump under that big ass fucking dress.
Like the topographical map of Mars that I had. You know, he's just like dropping some horrible
Yeah. And any other one would be like, shut the fuck up. But she's like, oh my God.
She's like, oh, you devil, you.
And she's just eating that shit up.
I remember being married. I was 18 years old. My wife was 20. We had no money. I worked at Toys R Us for $8 an hour. She was a waitress here. And I remember thinking at the time, all I wanted was a decent car and a decent computer because I'd gone to my uncle's house. He was a lawyer, and he had a fancy computer like in 1996 or 97. And I remember wanting that so badly when I was young and just knowing that I was going to have to work hard because, you know, back then, paycheck was like $230 a week or something. You know, it was a different time, kids.
Hell yeah, it was.
Constantinus, hi Gabe the Jerker. Well, hello to you.
Constantinus.
Is this a sequel called Forward to the Past? No, this is Black to the Future, starring Cedric the Entertainer and Snoop Dogg.
This movie has many names,
right?
But again, this is the, you know, notice Marty's not in this scene. Right. It's all about Doc Brown and his love with Clara. And then the classic In the Mirror, you know, Make My Day, You Talking to Me.
Right.
Kind of in that, those old Western, you know, with the button-up ass, long johns or whatever they called those back then.
Right. The long johns with the trap door for the butt.
Yeah.
Read that one.
I'm an astronomy major. I need to check Uranus. You get up in it, dude. Stick that telescope in there.
I feel like that would get you slapped.
Maybe. It's worth a shot. Hold on 1 second. Be right back.
All right. Right. So we have this romance going. The danger from Mad Dog Biff Tannen is coming. Marty's ready to face off against Mad Dog if Mad Dog tries anything stupid. But they got to get this car back up to 88 miles an hour with the train, get Marty home. Doc is planning to stay here in the past. No, Doc's going to go back to the future, I believe, right? But Clara's going to have to stay here, so it's going to be very sad.
Yes.
Very sad. So, and now, as they always show in the movies, some document, newspaper, photograph is changing because they're changing the timeline. So no longer is Doc Emmett Brown's grave have his name on it. It's disappearing off there because he's going to go back to the future and get away from Mad Dog before he can get got.
But whose name is going to be on there is the question.
Right.
Somebody's name's got to be there.
Right. Constantinus. I remember how it should have ended. Did a video merging Terminator 2 with Back to the Future animated. It's an old, but it'd be a great concept to make. How weird. That is weird.
That's two strange movies to put together.
Right. I mean, the time travel, that's insane. Yeah, Marty actually travels to the Skynet future by accident. Oh my God.
Yeah, you ain't getting out of there, Marty.
Right.
Terminator's gonna fuck you up.
Doc, I don't know, man. These robots are dangerous, Doc.
Great Scott, Marty, it's liquid metal. Liquid metal.
So what's happening? I'm unsure what's happening here. Is this where the Doc is telling him he doesn't want to go back anymore because he's in love, or?
No, I think that comes. Or no, that is about that. That's about right. They have the go back one. Yeah, they have the DeLorean's like up on this like ramp thing, and then they release it and it rolls down to where it's flat. But yeah, he's telling them that yeah, I don't want to go back. I'm in love. And Marty's like, what the fuck are you talking about, man? You have to come back. You can't stay here. He's like, and he tells him, it's a pretty cool line. He tells him, you're a scientist, so you need to make your decision with this. And he points at his head because you're thinking with your heart. But he's like, you need to have a more logical outlook on this. You think with your fucking head. What are you doing? And he basically goes and tells her, hey, I can't.
I didn't mean to hit it and quit it, but I gotta go. Now you're not gonna believe this. Yes, we slept together. I have to go 100 years in the future to get the hell away from you.
Yeah, I got all up in Uranus, but now I gotta go. And he's telling her basically, I gotta go back to the future. She's like, what the fuck? She's like, you should have just told me that you don't love me anymore. You don't want me that. So that would have been at least honest. Because of course she totally doesn't believe it. He's a fucking time traveler. And so he has this like a flower. They went on like a little picnic or something. She gave him a flower and he had it pinned to his shirt. Again, very old timey kind of love. Where things like that. Before things got so materialistic. Something like a flower. Was like everything, and he smelled it. And he leaves it on her.
Instead of someone twerking a mere 1 inch from your face on the second date or something,
giving you fucking pink eye from their stinky ass. So yeah, he leaves. He's heartbroken. He doesn't want to, but Marty's right. He needs to take his ass back to the future, and so he leaves it there, and he's all sad. She throws herself on the bed, very Gone with the Wind style, and it's just devastated, crushed.
Would it be better if they deep faked AI, put Christopher Walken as a professor, and AI put Al Pacino as Marty? She's got a great ass.
This is gonna be tough.
I don't think so. It would be funny. It would be funny, but I don't know if it'd be better. It'd definitely be different.
It would be fucking hilarious.
We gotta get back to the future.
Whoa. Yeah, a lot of yelling. There's different Al Pacinos. You got the yelling, the older yelling Al Pacino.
All right. No, what if it's Al Pacino from Scarface? With his horrible Cuban accent or whatever.
Yeah, Cubans do. I remember I worked with this Cuban girl. She's like, Cuban people don't sound like what fucking accent is that?
I love that.
Hey, fucking Doc, we gotta go back to the future, man. You motherfucker.
It's a fucking doctor.
We gotta go back to fucking 1985, man.
Scent of the future.
Oh, nice. So yeah, he wakes up and he's already
my hair and the time travel.
I gotta work on my walking. I had a walking years ago, but I haven't practiced it in a long time.
I worked with a guy, Joel Gomez at DC Comics Wildstorm Studio. Amazing walking. He could do it. And I don't know how to do a walk-in, but I do know that some single-syllable words with walk-in, you turn them into 2-syllable words, and that's a little bit of it. That's not the whole thing, but that's a little bit of the trick there. So,
Marty, my hair and time travel, something like that.
It's that's leading down the right way. Yeah, I think Jay Moore does the best. I think Jay Moore's the best walk-in. I think
or Jay Moore and Kevin Pollak.
Kevin Pollak, yeah, they're neck
Those
and neck.
the two greatest, I think.
Her womb is so polluted.
Her womb is so polluted. Took out my fucking baby, man. True that.
Oh my goodness.
So
which in the
Marty's Mad Dog has already told Marty, I'm gonna kill you. And the guy, and it's like, what did he say? He's like, I'm trying to remember how he put it. He was saying he's out there in the street. Marty goes, what, at high noon? And he goes, no, I like to do my killing before breakfast. And Marty's like, I like to do my, he's 7 o'clock. Marty's like 8 o'clock. I like to do my killing after breakfast. So, and then he's like, he goes away and then he turns to Doc. And Doc's like, why'd you tell him that? He's like, dude, 8 o'clock. We'll be gone by then anyway. We'll be back to the future. And he's like, what if the train's delayed? He's like, oh, I didn't think of that. The train could be delayed. So this is the morning of when he's supposed to go and shoot it out with Mad Dog. And he wakes up there, where wherever they camped out. But then he's looking around for Doc, and Doc's not there because Doc is all sad about Clara, and so he's at the bar, and he tells the guy, give me a whiskey, and he's all, the usual, Doc, and he's like, no, something strong. He goes, oh, sarsaparilla, and he's like, no, whiskey, and he's like, Doc, are you sure? Because you know what happened last time you had whiskey, and he's like, whiskey. So he gives him a shot of whiskey, and he's like, leave the bottle. Like, oh shit, Doc's really
That's serious. I don't drink. I don't drink, but if I still drank, that would be a move I'd want to do at least once in my life, where you tell the bartender, leave the bottle. That's when shit's serious.
Whiskey tastes like shit.
Yeah, any of the brown liquors, not great.
On.
No, that's not racist.
Oh, no, it's too late. Offense already taken.
All right.
But I remember watching this thing on the History Channel, and this guy was talking. They were talking about Western movies and what's real and what's what really happened. And he was saying that a lot of these gunfights that you hear, like at the OK Corral and all these showdowns at high noon in the middle of the street, he said a lot of them would have been pretty inaccurate because they were drunk, because they did drink, take a lot of shots and stuff. And you're drinking whiskey all day, and you're not going to be able to shoot straight. So he's all, they wouldn't have been so bullet to the heart and all that kind of stuff. It would have been a little more sloppy than that.
That's true. One more. I have a quick idea. Morgan Freeman narrating all 3 Back to the Future movies. Now, Marty, we got to get back to the future.
Marty, we have to go back to the future, Marty. We have to go back to 1985 for poor Andy Dufresne. That was a fucked up movie.
Barney always asks him to leave the bottle. Yeah, I bet he does.
They don't have to ask.
No.
They just slide him the bottle.
Right.
I know what Barney's about. If Barney asked for the bottle, you better get your ass out of that saloon. That's all I know. Yeah,
Barney's blood tested positive for much higher than the 0.08 for drunk driving. He's usually good for like 30% alcohol in his blood.
Yeah, he stays at like a 1.8.
Yeah,
he's fucked up a lot.
Yeah,
but
he should be dead.
He should be, but that's a big body, T-Rex. It takes a lot. But those years of giving children quality entertainment, it took a toll.
Barney the dinosaur.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's a fucking menace.
Geez. Speak of the reptile king of reptiles. How you doing, Barn?
I'm doing great, fucker.
Constantinus here, our friend, has no idea who you are. Now, don't be offended. He seems new here, but you go to the bar. You're known to enjoy a drink or two. Do you down the whole bottle there, Barn?
I usually down the whole bottle in one drink because I'm not a pussy.
Sorry, I was just thinking about at New Year's, you used your one phone call from jail to call me when you got that DUI. Now, have you been able to stay out of trouble since?
No, I live in trouble, Gabe. You know me. Bottoms up. That's a tattoo I have across my chest.
Now, that guy in the jail that stole your cigarettes, were you able to, did he ever make things right, or is he still on your list?
Well, that's not all he tried to steal. He tried to steal my butthole virginity too, Gabe. But you know I handle those kind of things.
Yeah, where is he now?
Oh, he's still face down with a blown out butthole.
Oh, I figured you would have eaten this guy.
No, I gave him what he was trying to give me.
Oh, well, I guess that's fair. I don't know. I did want to ask you about, are you a fan of the Old West cowboys and all that, or you think it's lame?
I love it. Any society where you can settle your issues with violence, I'm all for it.
Now, how would you be in the Old West? Would you be like a sheriff's deputy, or would you be one of the bandits?
I would be a complete menace. Bandits all day long, fucker.
Okay, so you wouldn't be you wouldn't open up a little, livery stable or be a blacksmith or anything like that?
Whoa, it's African-American, Smith.
Oh, sorry. I'm sorry. They did set them free in the after the Civil War. That is true.
I would be shooting guns, drinking brown liquor, and grabbing tits.
Well, how's that any different from what you do nowadays, though, Barney?
It's not.
Oh, okay. Well, I guess Barney is eternal then.
I've been here a long time, 65 million years.
Okay, and you're not going anywhere anytime soon, are you, Barn?
I will never be fuel in the ground.
All right, Barney the dinosaur. Before I let you go, don't leave. Is there anything you want to plug? Anything exciting you got going on, or anything coming up?
I want to plug the ladies.
Okay, Barney, we got to push him off stage here because we know where he's going. Bye, Barn. Oh,
Fucking
goodness.
menace.
Oh, that guy's out of control, dude. I told you I saw
He
him.
is.
I saw him driving by my house again, like 3 a.m.
It's nice and slow.
Weird
Just
guy.
cruising. But you know what? You know what I respect about him? Yes, he's a psycho and he's violent and he's a drunk and he does drugs and he leaves his claw prints on many an ass. You know what you're getting with Barney right up front.
Right.
He's not going to sugarcoat it. He's not going to act a certain way, run certain groups. It's Barney. Take it or take it.
Right. Yeah. I don't know about him. He's a very weird guy. One of the things I think is so weird about Barney, though, is that he drives a smart car. He's so big for that little car.
Well, I think Barney's used to shoving large things in a very small space. So I think it kind of spills over in his car selection. But he's, be glad that you're one of his boys. Barney's always going to have your back. He's the kind of guy, you do something, he'll ask, where are we going to bury him? Or he'll just eat him.
I don't know. Because I told you I ran into him last week and he was like, he was all dirty and he was like all twitchy. Like, I don't know if he had been up for like 2 days again or he was too much coffee, cocaine, I don't know what. And he wanted to borrow my truck. So, of course I said, yes, he's a 12-foot tall dinosaur. I let him borrow the truck. And he comes back. And now here's the weird thing. I thought, oh God, is it going to end up in a ravine or end up, on blocks in Mexico or so? He brings my truck back and it's cleaner than it's ever been.
Did it smell like bleach?
A little bit. Yeah, like cleaning. Yeah, like soap, bleach. But like we're talking showroom clean, my truck.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I thought he was going to return it filthy because what am I going to do about it, right? I've never seen my truck like this. It was like brand new.
Dude, he's a good guy. And like I said before, man, if you're on his good side, you got a friend for life.
Okay.
And a lot of lives because he's been around for millions of years. But he's going to take care of you, man. He's going to respect you. He's going to respect your property. Now, don't ask him why your truck was that clean, but just enjoy the fact that he detailed your truck.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's weird. And we'll get back to the movie, but so then I went out later in the truck, just gleaming, shining, beautiful Southern California weather, truck looking like $1 million. And there were these guys, and when they saw my truck coming, they ducked into the alley. And then they came out slowly and they noticed it was me, and then they were fine. So I don't know what's going on.
Well, he borrowed my truck one time. I thought he was going to move some furniture or something. And when I got it back, there were just these big old ass cheek prints on the windshield on the inside.
Oh.
So at least he cleaned your truck.
Oh, well, okay. I don't want dinosaur butt cheeks on my window. So
I don't know what species they were, but that was a fat ass. I do know that.
He's a mysterious fellow, that Barney.
He is. That's my boy, though.
You can't go back. He was a children's entertainer, and now he's just, it is what it is.
Yeah, man. I needed to borrow like $20 or something. I forgot my wallet, and he gave me $100, more than I asked for. There were like drops of blood on it, but I just took it and spent it. Yeah, I just spent it.
I was at a place, and it didn't take my card, and Barney, I ran into Barney. It was the weirdest thing. I don't know what he was doing downtown because he never goes downtown. And I was at I was going to the baseball game, and my card wouldn't work. So he's like, "Oh, I got you." And he gave me, I needed like $7. He gave me $100 and then he pats me on the cheek and just winked at me. He's the weirdest dude I've ever met.
I know he wouldn't. I tried to pay him back. He wouldn't take it. He said, "My money's no good here." And he's always there when I need him. I don't need him a lot, but the few times I have, he's a stand-up guy.
If you can't trust a drug-addicted 12-foot tall purple dinosaur, who can you trust?
Who can you trust?
All right. Anyway, back to the movie. Doc Brown is very sad. He has to leave his love Clara behind and go back.
But he never drinks the fucking shot. He holds it like for hours. I think he came in I don't know if he was there like all night or whatever, but he's just holding that one shot and he will not fucking drink it. And the guys, he's talking about the future and he's telling them, oh, there's things called automobiles and people run. They're like, run for what? He's like, run for fun. He's like, running for fun? That don't sound right. How much you been drinking? And the bartender's like, he hasn't. He's been holding that same fucking shot. the whole time. This is the raw, sober Doc Brown.
Let's see. So then, what the hell's going on here?
She's leaving. She's at the counter at the train station asking. She's like, "What's where? Like, how far does the train go?" And he said, "San Francisco's the last stop." She says, "I'll take a one-way ticket." You know, her heart's broken. I'm out of here. And she's leaving. And then the next scene, Marty needs Doc to be awake so they could fucking get the car up to 88 miles an hour and get the hell out of there before Biff shows up. And you could see the clock out the window behind him. It says 7:45. So it's crunch time. And so Marty says, "You got some coffee?" And he's giving coffee because first of all, he ends up taking the shot. He takes one shot and then he just fucking boom, passes out face first on the table, falls on the floor. Marty's like, "Shit, Doc, they're slapping him. Wake up, wake up. Give me some coffee." He's holding his head up, pouring coffee in his mouth. Nothing's working. And he's like, "You got anything stronger than this?" And he goes, I can't remember the name. He's like, "Give me the wake up juice." So they get this beer mug and they start putting like all hot sauce, hot peppers, and all this shit in there. And so they got a funnel in there. He's like, "Put this clothespin on his nose," and he's pouring it in his mouth. And then he fucking sits up. He's holding his throat. It's all hot. And he runs outside and he falls face first into the water trough for the horses. And then Marty picks him up. He's like, he's passed out again. He's like, "Oh, that's just the initial shock. It's going to take him about 10 minutes. And so he passes right out and they drag him in there the whole time. Slapping, "Wake up, wake up, wake up." Nothing. And then Mad Dog shows up and he's yelling out the window, "Clint Eastwood, come out here, you son of a bitch. What are you, yellow custard," and all this kind of shit. Normally, you know, chicken, yellow, whatever, that sets Marty off, but he don't want none of Mad Dog. So he's ignoring him and he's like, "You got till the count of 10 to come out here." And he's looking at the picture and he sees that now it says Clint Eastwood on the tombstone. So he's going to die. And so he doesn't want to go out there. And he counts to 10 and he's like, "Why do I got to go out there?" He's like, "Who gives a shit?" And they're like, "Well, if you don't go out there, you're going to be labeled as a coward." And back then, you know, calling a man a coward or a liar, that would get you shot too, because honor was a big thing back then. So he's like, "I don't want to go out there." He's like, "Fuck it, I'm not going there." Like, "You better go out there. You know, you want to be a coward." And so he does go out there and he's like yelling shit. He's all, "I don't want to go out. I forfeit." And he's like, and this is the running joke to the movie. Like, "What?" And he always turns to one of his henchmen. "What the hell does that mean?" And he goes, "Forfeit. It means you win without contest." And he's like, "I don't want to do that." He's like, "I want to kill somebody." And so he finally wakes up Doc and he's like, "You got a back door to this place?" And he goes, "Yeah, it's in the back." They fucking run out the back. His cronies see him and they start shooting at him. And so now Doc ducks behind a barrel and he jumps through like a window or something into this room. And he lands right next to a stove and he hits the stove and the cast iron door falls off. And it's like concaved and stuff. And so he tells him Marty's in the room and they grab Doc Brown and he says, "You got 1 minute to come out." He's like, "I'm killing somebody today. You got 1 minute to come out. I'm gonna shoot Doc Brown." He fucking hates Doc Brown anyway. That's the original beef because he owes him $80 for the horse. So he's like, "I'm gonna kill you or I'm gonna kill this motherfucker. I'm killing somebody." And so he's all, "Time's up." And so he puts the gun to Doc Brown's face and he's like, you know, "See you in hell," or whatever. And then he comes out with the Clint Eastwood poncho on. The poncho,
the hat, and the cast iron under the poncho, just like it's the Fistful of Dollars, right?
Yeah. And somebody gave it, I guess a guy named Colt, he gives him the gun. He's like, "Hey," he's like, "if you shoot him with my gun, you know, you can keep it." He's like, "If not, you got to give it back." But he's like, "I want to be the man who gave you the Colt, you know, that killed Mad Dog." So that guy, I guess, is Colt, you know, who invented, started the Colt gun company. And so they draw, boom, Mad Dog shoots him and he goes up to him. He's going to shoot him again. And then Marty like gets up, fucking kicks the gun out of his hand, takes it. You can see where that he would have shot him right in his fucking heart. Mad Dog knows how to kill. And he takes it off and he's like, "What the hell?" And he takes that cast, and that thing's got to weigh 50 pounds.
Right.
Like that thing's heavy as shit. And he takes it and hits Mad Dog across the face with it.
Just like Tom and Jerry crowns him in the face.
Yeah.
Like if you did this in real life, 8 teeth would come flying out.
You would crush the side of his face. Even if he could swing that heavy ass piece of cast iron, Mad Dog's going to be spitting out some fucking chiclets for sure. Right. You can almost hear the, you know, like the chirping birds like flying around his head when he hits him. And then that doesn't knock him out. Of course, this is Hollywood. So he gives him like a 2-3 piece after that. Bam, knocks him down. And of course, the running joke through all 3 movies is the manure.
Right.
And those are some fresh road apples right there.
Fresh horse shit that he
And he
landed.
falls face first into a cart full of fucking manure.
I always hated, I don't know if it's in Back to the Future 1 or 2, the horse shit falls all over them, I think in the hot rod or the, you know, the chop top. And when he's yelling at Marty, he's got it in his mouth, dude. In his mouth. It's bad enough in your hair, on your hands, on your clothes.
Your face.
When he's talking, you can see it in his mouth, dude.
Oh, dog. Yeah, that's bad. Nothing worse
that's
than
worse
shit
than
in the
creamy
mouth.
peanut butter. That's way worse.
Yeah, you're getting nothing's better than that. But you're getting some kind of fucking disease in your body if you ingest feces. So yeah, face first. And
are you telling me eating poop ain't good for you?
That's exactly what I'm telling you. If you guys are feasting on feces, you need to stop. So yeah, and then so he sees that, you know, his name disappeared, so he's not going to die now, but he's still got to get
like having chunky peanut butter.
Same thing, chunky peanut butter, horse shit. If you did a blind taste test, no one could tell the difference.
How dare you?
And so he sees, oh, cool, I'm going to live. And then the sheriff or some other lawman comes riding in town and to save the day. And the Mad Dog's henchmen, they go running off. And he says, get him. So 2 guys go after them to arrest him. And then they pick up Mad Dog and to arrest him. And he's standing there, shit all over him. And he opens his mouth and spits out manure. And he goes, I hate manure. And so then they take off on the horses. And she, of course, arrives right after they leave. Textbook movie love story,
right?
And so she hops on a horse and goes after him, and
she doesn't want her lover Doc Brown to leave her.
Yeah, because she's on the train, and so when Doc was in the bar, he's telling when he first gets there, and he's like, "Oh," the guy comes up to him and he's like, "Must be a woman, right?" Because he's just looking sad and dejected. What's her name? And he's like, "Oh, the love of my life." And he's all, "There's plenty of women in the world." And he's like, "No, not like her. She's one in a million. No, she's one in a billion." And he's like, I've been peddling this barbed wire around the country, and I can tell you there's plenty of women. He's like, not like her. So now there he gets on the train. He's telling the guy, yeah, man, he was so sad. Woman broke his heart, man. I'd never seen anybody, that heartbroken. Her name was Carla or something, or Clara. That was her name. She turns around. Oh, did he have beautiful brown eyes and long silver hair? And she's like, oh, shit, that was him. So she realizes, he's all heartbroken and fucked up. She's like, I can't let this go. So she gets off the train, pulls the brake, that cable that goes through the car, pulls the cable. Everybody lurches forward. All their bags and shit fall. And she gets off the train, goes after him. But they're trying to catch the train because this is what's going to propel the DeLorean. And you can see when they cut to that scene, it's on the grill of the DeLorean. It says DMC. I guess that stands for DeLorean Motor Company. I'm assuming.
Did I tell you? I think I sent you the picture. I went and saw a DeLorean in real life. They have a antique museum here in San Diego, that J.H. Cooley Museum. They have a bunch of old cars from like the early well over 100 years, like 30, 40 cars, and then a bunch of knickknacks, just stuff, old whiskey bottles, old clocks, old this, old that. But in the front of the store, they have a DeLorean. So I took a picture with it like it was a celebrity. So
it is.
It was cool.
It's a fucking iconic vehicle.
I'll find the photo. Go ahead. I'll find the photo.
So what they're going to do is basically hijack the train. So they climb classic, riding the horses alongside the train. They hop off the horses onto the train, and then they climb over the pile of wood and they get to the locomotive. And he says, masks on. And I couldn't help but think of fucking COVID when he said that. Ugh. But they put their masks on to cover their face. And then the guy's like, is this a stick up? And he goes, no, it's a science experiment. And so they stop the train, kick those guys off, and then they detach the locomotive from the rest of the train, and they take off. And then they get to where the DeLorean is, and he goes in the front seat, and there's these big bundles, like these wrapped around, like cylindrical bundles, and they're marked 1, 2, and 3, and they're all like red, orange, and yellow or something. And so he's like, what are these, Doc? And he's like, well, these are going to provide enough power to get the train up to 88 miles an hour. He's like, I've used them before to like keep the fire going or some shit. And so he has this makeshift walkie-talkie that he makes. I'm not sure how that would work back then if they're not connected, because like on Navy ships, you have that's 80s right there. When you think 80s vehicle, it looks like somebody's house.
It's not a house, but it has a lot of furniture and old knickknacks in it. It's a huge place, like 30 to 50 cars, and some of them are like, of the very first cars ever made, like well over 100 years ago. And it's a fascinating place here in San Diego. It's a tiny museum run by just a husband and wife. He started the museum like 50, 60 years ago. But when I walked in, this is right by the front door. There's a DeLorean right there. It's so interesting to look at cars before we had all the computers and the GPS and how low tech a car was. It had the steering wheel and like 3 gauges, and then
That's
like
cool. Those rims are fucking classic.
Right. But it was pretty cool to see. So,
and he so in a Navy ship, you have a sound powered phone, but it's connected by a wire. So you can be all the way at the front of the ship, which is hundreds of feet away, and you could talk to somebody. It's not really loud, so you really got to hold it to your ear, but you can talk to somebody on a sound powered phone, and that's exactly what it is. The sound of your voice propels the sound to the other.
Really?
Yeah, so in case you lose power or something, you can still communicate throughout the ship. So, but I don't know how they would have a walkie-talkie back then, but they make it happen.
Hey, they got a time machine, whatever.
Yeah, bring a fucking couple pods here and there.
Yeah.
And so she finally catches up, and she gets on the train. Oh, I love you. Don't leave me. And
very olive oil, very damsel in distress olive oil.
Yeah. Yeah. She doesn't just hop right on the train, because those bundles that he's supposed to throw in the fire, boom, and like it gives this real like burst of power, and she's trying to climb on, and she loses her grip. Oh, help me! She's hanging off the side of the train and shit. So he has to save her, bring her on the train, and then they throw the second one, boom, and it's really like fucking picking up speed. And then the last one, it like blows up that part of the train, like it fucking explodes. And yeah, that's where she's hanging off. Help me and all this shit. Really, she would be like, she'd fall under, be ground to bits.
Just be shredded to pieces.
Like pull up a headless Clara.
Yeah.
All right. And
these energy things are all like, they're all color coded. So the green one, the yellow one, the blue one, the red one. And then and Marty's kind of sitting in this waiting for Doc to get up there. They're gonna get in the car. Go back. But the thing is, he has the floating hoverboard from the second movie. And he throws it back to Doc, and you can see Doc on it here, and Doc uses it to go save Clara. And they jump on the hoverboard, and and he's able to save her life, but he stays in 1885 or whatever.
Yeah. And also, this is the end of the track, so they also have to do this before the fucking DeLorean smashes into this thing and gets crushed by the train. So there's a lot of stakes here. And again, Doc is on the hoverboard. That's Marty's thing. Marty's always on the hoverboard because he's the main character. But now, in part 3, it's Doc Brown and his love. And so he hovers, and she's got to be shitting her pants like, what the fuck is this thing we're floating on? What is this? What the hell? And so, they make it in the locomotive. Another cool scene, it goes off the cliff, boom, crashes. You see all the wood and shit going everywhere, and it explodes. I always think when you have those cars that go off the cliffs and they just explode in all these pieces, that must be hell of a cleanup. Like, who has to go down there and clean up all
I would
these
imagine, I'm just guessing, when they do that in the movie, the car's empty inside. They take the engine out, they take all the seats and the things out. Just leave it as little mess to clean up as possible. Like, why would you do a whole car off the cliff? And it'd be lighter weight. It'd be easier to launch it off the cliff if it was a lightweight car. I don't know. I'm just guessing.
But that makes sense. But this is cool. Like, you just see the whole locomotive go off, and the camera catches it all the way down. Boom, fucking blows up.
I rode a train out in East County, San Diego, and it's a historic train line that went from Tecate, Mexico, back into California, and they don't run it anymore. It only ran until the 20s or the 30s or something like that. And it was Mr. Spreckles, who was one of the richest men in the world at the time. He was a San Diegan. We have the Spreckles Theater here. It's like ballet and theater, opera, all the stuff. But Spreckles is a big name in San Diego. And then there's like a graveyard of train cars at this thing out in East County. It's called Campo, which just means camp in Spanish. And there's a train yard. You can get on a historic train and ride. I'd never been on a train before, and it was fascinating. It was like a half-hour-long ride on a train out in the California desert east of San Diego. But Mr. Spreckles' personal car, now imagine this. You're a rich guy. It's, 1915 or whatever. You're not going to have a yacht. You're not going to have a G5 jet. You're going to have a train car. And when we went into Spreckles' train car, it had oak wood walls. It had stained glass trim at the top for the sunlight to come in. It had like a living room with the beautiful like chairs and couches. Then it had a bathroom, a toilet, and then it had the servants' quarters where he had like 3 or 4 servants on there to cook and clean and all that. So he had an entire train car to himself to travel around the country because he was a wealthy businessman. It was fascinating to see how people, rich people lived 100 years ago like that. Where it had I think it had 2 bedrooms and 2 toilets in this train car from 1910 or 1905 or something like that. So, but I could find the pictures, but it'd take me a while to dig through my computer. But yeah, it was amazing to look at it.
Did he have a sugar business?
I don't know how Spreckles got rich. I don't remember.
Because where I used to live, there in Salinas, there was a town 3 miles away called Spreckles, California. And it was called a company town.
Probably named after him.
Yeah, it was a company town that they built the town to house the workers who worked in the sugar beet factories.
Right.
And to this day, they have the huge silos that they used to hold the sugar in and stuff. So maybe that's got to be the same guy, California.
It's that big sugar money.
Yeah, how many people named Spreckles in California?
How many rich industrialists named Spreckles lived in California 100 years ago? We look it up. There's like 15.
Like, oh shit, never mind.
It's like crazy, 15, and none of them were related.
But I think, yeah, that's probably the saying. So there's a place called Spreckles, California, and it's quintessential small town. It really is. But yeah, Marty makes it, of course. He disappears in the DeLorean before he gets smashed by the train. The train smashes through the barrier because they haven't completed the bridge yet. So they have to do it at a certain point or they're going to fucking die. Right. And so he makes it. He appears like right by this train track, and everything seems to be cool. So but he's still dressed in the Western getup, not the gay cowboy shit he was wearing earlier, like actual. And then
like a rhinestone cowboy.
And early in the movie, Doc says, when we get back to 1985, we got to destroy this machine because time travel is too painful.
Right.
And so when he appears, he makes it out of the car, and then an actual modern day train, the huge steel locomotive, fucking just smashes his shit into a million pieces. So it's definitely destroyed. He had a girlfriend named Spreckles. That's unfortunate.
All right, guys.
Not that you had her, but her name.
Coming to the main stage, it's Spreckles.
Get your dollar bills out, fellas. Get that filthy money out of your pocket that you're going to rub on her vagina. Her name is Spreckles. So the train destroys it, and he makes it. He lives, and then he goes back to his house, and Elizabeth Shue is still sleeping on the couch from where they left her there in the beginning. Or no, in the
second movie.
The second movie, yeah, in the second movie. So she's still sleeping there, and he goes and wakes her up, and they get in his truck, the souped up.
It's like a little Toyota or a Nissan. I can't remember.
I think it's a Toyota or Nissan. No, it might be a Nissan. But you see the KC light covers and shit there. The fucking coolest truck in the 80s.
And Biff
so he walks up,
cars.
Yeah, and he goes, "Hey, get away from there, butthead!" And he goes, "Oh, Marty, hey, Marty!" And he goes,
"Wait! Sorry, I have to interrupt this, Jericho. The chat has been wild tonight. This is a story told in 2 distinct parts. I had a girlfriend named Spreckles. She had a hairy booty hole, so to the curb she went.
Oh, she got kicked out of the bed for eating crackers?
I don't think that the bard himself, Shakespeare, could have said it any better.
That's very eloquent.
Very eloquent, Mike. Very classy, Diesel. Thank you for classing up the joint.
Why didn't you just take her to a Brazilian wax place and get that thing cleared out?
Brazilian wax.
Why don't you just get that brush cleared out, man? Come on. I guess he got some high standards. Not too high because he's a Raven fan. Right. But yeah, man. So ladies, if you plan on getting with Diesel, you better get that butthole cleaned out. Clean that thing
he's a man of refined taste.
Yeah, he must have a clam turd cutter.
Oh my gosh. You guys are crazy tonight.
You guys are fucking animals.
I do feel like he's pulling our collective legs.
No, I believe that.
Maybe she was a Raiderette. She was like a Raider girl, you know?
Nah, if she's a Raiderette, he'd let her have that hairy butthole. Eh?
She's like, hey, she's my Ruka. I'm her down ass fool.
That's my hang now, fool.
Hey, you think we could sign Jimmy Garoppolo back? We cut him, but I think he's better than Gardner Minshew.
She was my sign job.
What What if Tom Brady buys ownership in the Raiders and then he plays quarterback at the same time?
Nah, that won't happen, fool. You're crazy. That won't fucking happen. Because that means we fucking win, and we don't know how to do that with the Raiders, eh?
It says it was a true story. It was a girl named Alicia. Okay, we'll leave it there. No last names.
Damn, Alicia, you had that 70s butthole.
He's gonna give her a Casey Kasem radio dedication. Alicia, this is Diesel, and I just want you to know, despite your airstute nature, I still love you.
Alicia, Diesel wants to say, hey, it's not going to work out. Your butthole's too hairy. This one's for you. That's fucked up, Diesel. Shout out to you, Alicia. Hope you found love.
She didn't get a Brazilian because she thought it meant she would own us. Oh, come on, Captain Haruno. You have been a naughty boy on the edge tonight. All right.
To the bitter end.
Oh.
So yeah, Marty wakes up Elizabeth Shue. He's like, hey, girl, let's go hang out. Let me get that. So they get in a truck, and then these so the same member from the second one, he was the boss who fired him.
It's Flea from the Red Hot Chili Peppers.
That's right. And I looked at him, he's 61. Damn, Flea is old. We're old. And so she pulls out the paper and looks at it, and where it says you're fired, it disappears. She goes, whoa, it disappeared. And so he challenges him to a race. He's like, what are you, a chicken? And he's all, let's do it. So they're revving their engines and they're waiting for the green light. The green light hits, they take off, and he's in like a big red truck. He takes off. Marty puts it in reverse because Marty finally learned, don't let people set you off by calling you chicken. Because that's how he got fired in the second one. Because he says, what are you, chicken? And he wanted to do some business deal. Team Cream. And so he does it.
By the way, Team Cream, tonight I let it slide. It does not go into next week. It does not go.
It will. It's going to be part of the fabric of double.
It does not go into next week. No Team Cream. No.
So he goes backwards, and she's like, did you do that on purpose? Because he like reverses back like 100 yards, whips it around and shit. And she's like, did you do that on purpose? Like, yeah, you think I was going to race that asshole? And they look through the back window, and you see them. They're still going, and a white Rolls Royce pulls out, and they go around it. And he looks, he's like, I would have hit that because it pulled out in his lane. So if he was racing him, he would have T-boned that Rolls Royce, and it probably would have killed him. So he's like, oh, shit. So now it finally told him, he learned that, okay, that saved my life not being set off by the word.
Yeah,
chicken.
he learned to control his impulse at being humiliated for being called the chicken shit. Captain Haruno still thinks he's funny. Team Cream Dream Stream next week. Listen, buddy.
Yeah.
Get it out of your system now.
That's
Because Team Cream Dream Stream is over after tonight. There's no more.
That's the title of the next live stream. Team Cream Dream Stream.
Yeah, we're gonna get back to the chunky. Back to the chunky next week. It's all chunky peanut butter next week.
We return to our regularly scheduled program, Team Cream Dream Stream. I like that.
For your Saturday afternoon matinee on Fox 7, it's Back to the Chunky.
No, never. Put that on a t-shirt. Team Cream Dream Stream.
Creamy peanut butter on Wonder White bread with fucking Welch's grape jelly untoasted should land you in prison.
You just described the greatest peanut butter.
That is a horrible sandwich. That is for people who hate food, that kind of sandwich.
That's for people who hate
that's
food.
Like saying,
love them,
that's like saying you like Burger King. It's as offensive as Burger King.
Hey, Burger King has its place.
No, and Taco Bell.
Remember the 99-cent Whopper back in the day?
That. I literally don't. I don't think I've been to a Burger King in over Burger King. I think the last time I was at Burger King or a Taco Bell, it was like 2001. Literally haven't been there in over 20 years. It's disgusting food.
Well, now it's going to cost you $50 to fucking feed yourself at one of them. Thanks, Gavin Newsom, you bitch. But they have their place.
It's Team Cream here on 102.3 The Meat.
Ooh, you got a nice ribeye steak. You know what would go great on that? Some creamy peanut butter. Now it's time for Team Cream Dream Hour.
You ever have cream beef on toast? Well, you're getting it now.
Ooh, put it on that meat on 102.3 The Meat. I love it.
All right.
Peanut butter.
We bring the beef on Wednesdays. 102.3 The Meat.
We're going to make your peanut butter cream.
You know where I went to lunch on Monday? Since this show is basically an excuse to talk about food and improv comedy. Listen, it's no coincidence our main improv character owns a pasta restaurant. I went to a Brazilian barbecue, which I love, I went to one on Friday when I was in Vegas, and I went down to one in Mexico on Monday. I have a big comic book fan of mine. His name's Hector. He lives in Tijuana, Mexico, which is only like 20 miles from my house. So I went down there and met him for lunch. And it was different, their Brazilian barbecue, but it was delightful. I was kind of had trepidation, like how weird is it going to be or different. It was definitely different, but it was good. It was a good one. So,
Thanks,
good.
Hector. Thanks,
Thank you, Hector. Hey, fool.
So they survive the race. They don't T-bone the Rolls Royce and die. And then boom, Doc Brown comes out of a flying train.
Now this train is like something off of a 70s acid rock album cover.
Yeah.
You know, this is the train that Ozzy Osbourne would ride to his concerts or something. You know,
yeah, this is like the Soul Train on acid. And it fucking comes out of the sky, and they're still like very, like you said, steampunk.
Yeah,
it's old, but it's advanced, and they have and they have kids now, and there's Einstein. I don't know how they got Einstein, but it was it Elliot something Brown is the initials on the side.
Yeah, I don't know his middle name, Elliot or Emmett Brown, but I don't know the L.
Emmett Leon Brown, Emmett Leroy Brown. That's fucking middle
name. What's the difference between jam and jelly? About 35 cents. No, jam has the fruit chunks in it, and jelly's just the clear stuff. You can see right through it. It's colored, but it doesn't have any.
Whoa, come on, we still using that word?
It's a food of color. Sorry.
There you go. Thank you. PC.
So that's the difference between jam and jelly. So
I think jam's better. Given a choice, I'm going with the jam.
I'm going with jam. I was at Costco. We're dads. We love Costco. I was at Costco this evening right before the show, and I found for $8 organic strawberry jam in a jar this big, bigger than my head almost.
Yeah, I had to jam for a fucking year.
I had to bring it home so I could use it on my Thomas English muffins with chunky peanut butter, because that's how it's done.
Well, now we know you hate your mouth.
Team Jelly, screw chunky jam. All right.
Anything chunky.
All right.
I'm not having it.
All right.
But yeah, now they have 2 kids. You know how they make those.
And then, the train flies up in the air like the DeLorean, turns around and warps. And he asks him, are you going back to the future or this or that? And doesn't Doc Brown say, the future already been there. I'm going to go back to ancient Rome or ancient somewhere, right? He says he's interested in that. So maybe he can go screw things up in the past.
They're taking it way back.
Can you imagine he gets up, the train turns on and goes, and all of a sudden 5 minutes later, everything starts changing where you live because he messes up all of Western history.
You fucking asshole. Kills the wrong person. And then the train, classic 80s movie ending, the train comes right at the screen.
Right. Right. Kind of in a mirror image of that first Back to the Future where the car goes right into the camera. It's like, well, we're going. We don't need roads.
We don't have enough road, Doc. Roads. Where we're going, we don't need roads.
Right. So I would say Back to the Future. I'm a huge fan now. I saw the first one only about a month ago, and I have been listening to Huey Lewis and the News nonstop for the last month. As I was packing a 1,000 jillion Dean Cain All-American Lawman books and mailing them out in my garage, I listened to the Huey Lewis and the News Greatest Hits 1,000,000 times. As I drove to Las Vegas last week, I listened to it, and I love it. I love it. I love it. I love Back in Time. It reminds me of this movie, obviously. The Power of Love reminds me of the movie, and it's such good music, such a good movie, such a good time, the 80s. Such a good time to look back with our rose-colored glasses. And wonderful, wonderful movie.
And I'm just noticing now, even in the picture right there for the cover of the movie, Doc Brown is in the middle. He's the center of the picture.
Right.
So it's kind of, even Marty is kind
of
the
focus.
A bit of a backseat. Yeah.
He's definitely the focus of this one. And I think that's why people don't like it. I think people who say they don't like it, maybe they don't like it, but I think it's because it's unfamiliar. The other two focus on the 50s and the 80s and Marty. And this one focuses on Doc Brown's, him as the main character. And it's in the West. So it's just so different from the others. Some people, I think, just say they don't like it, but it's like, it's not bad. It's just different. That's all.
I think it still would have been cool, though, if they kept Marty like as the main character. Maybe he fell in love with the 1885 Elizabeth Shue, to where it's not cheating because it's still your bloodline, girl. But I think that still would have been cool. But
I don't know how you
good.
explain to your girlfriend that you got with her great grandmother. That's
But
foul.
it is you. It's your blood. What do you mean? She looked just like you.
You know, women
felt just like you.
Women get jealous, and as men, we have to admit this. And I think women know this on some level. We kind of like it when a woman gets jealous, as long as it isn't serious. As long as it's just kind of funny. The waitress, like, okay, hon, and then your wife is in the car. Okay, hon, later. You know that kind of jealousy to men is very funny. You know.
Yeah.
And my wife is not a nagger, crier. Like, she's not an annoying woman, a bitch. You know my wife. She's delightful, demure, soft-spoken kind. But I like to like just tease her once in a while. And when we were watching all this Back to the Future, I said, what if I went back in time and I got like the 20-year-old you and I brought her here? Would you be jealous of yourself? And my wife goes, don't try to trick me.
I'm trying to trick you with man logic.
Right.
But I mean, it's literally you.
Right. You can't be jealous. I loved you when you're 20. I'd love you again.
You can't be jealous, so turn off the lights and, both.
She should have said, well, what if I went and got back and got the 20-year-old me? Dude, if I had the 20-year-old me at this house, I'd put his ass to work.
Yeah, man. Here's the laundry list of shit for you to do, player.
Listen, dude. Listen, I'm me at 45 because of you, what you did at 20. Now you fucking owe me. Now you get to work. You draw these comic books.
You're getting up on that roof. I'm not doing shit anymore.
Come on.
Like bringing in groceries. I don't bring in groceries anymore. I might make my kids do it. Dad, you're not going to help? No, I bought them. My days of bringing in groceries are over.
Scott Jeleno
love it.
Sounds like the plot of a porno. Oh.
Of course, Scott would take it there, but he's Team Cream, so he's cool.
Right. Yeah, that's a Team Creamers for you.
Team Creamer.
Let's see. He's a jam man. I like jam better than jelly. Although I love jelly, but I like jam better.
Yeah, I'm not mad at jelly, but if given a choice, I'm taking that jam, boo.
So you like your jelly chunky in jam, but you don't like your peanut butter chunky.
But jam isn't really chunky.
It's got literal chunks of fruit in it. The definition is chunky.
No, it's
they're chunks. What are they? It's a chunk of fruit.
But if you have grape jam, you're not gonna have chunks of grapes in it. It's just jam. If you have raspberry jam, it's not chunks of raspberries, they're just seeds.
Little pieces. Just finished actually writing the Pastamania commercial script. It's so funny. Also learned my handwriting is cock'em. Hey, don't make me say that word. You know that's the word. I hate that word the most.
You said it.
Captain
Bruno writes like a doctor.
What's the one that you hate? Is it Cool Beans or is it
Cool Beans? I heard somebody say that in public a few weeks ago. I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with you, woman? She told her boyfriend, Cool Beans. It'd be Cool Beans if I bounce your head off that fucking wall right now.
Well, it's been a long one tonight. A fun show.
So
we had a great time talking about all the fun stuff, guys. Check out all the links in the description. Check out Jericho's YouTube channel, the regular Jericho Green one. Check out his new interview channel with amazing guests on there. And that's called Green's House. Check that out on YouTube. Follow him on Instagram. That's JG Talk. Follow me on Twitter. That's Big Man Comics on Twitter. I'm Gabe L-Tape everywhere else, Facebook, Instagram, all that stuff. And what else? I don't know the movie for next week, but we are going to have Matthew Marsden on for Rambo 4 eventually. And but we'll have to do Rambo 3 first. And I don't know what we're going to do next week. I'll talk to Matthew. Maybe he'll come on for Rambo soon. And then maybe we could do Rambo 3 next week and then Rambo 4 the week after. Matthew can come on then. So I don't know. We'll figure it out.
We're going to do something.
All right. Is there anything else you want to plug before we go?
No, I think it's all been plugged.
All right. Diesel says he hates when people say dead ass.
Oh, yeah. New slang is fucking, I hate that shit.
Think about what you think. I think he's a little drunk tonight. Think about what you think about. He said he's a jam man and a creamy boy. Listen,
man, whatever.
Don't tell anyone else that. We'll hear it because we're your friends. Don't tell anyone that in public. Enjoy your cream drink. Okay, that's enough. That is enough. I'm like the teacher where I like the substitute teacher that's had enough.
That's it. You're the substitute teacher. You're gonna leave. You're gonna write down a list of kids who are fucking around.
Right. All right, guys. Next Wednesday, 6 p.m. Pacific. I don't know. It could be Rambo 3. It could be something else. We'll talk. Yeah, we'll talk. And I'll talk to you guys later. Bye-bye.